this program is made to deprogram you to what you've been programmed
that
to,
is
right?
Exactly what we're about. You have to remember that. Look, whether we get 1 million views or we get 1, it is still Be More. Believe me, for real. I refuse to have a generation behind me not doing better than me.
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
Right.
I can't sleep at night knowing the next generation is going to do worse than all. That doesn't make sense.
Be more for real.
DMV and Be More.
Put the number 4 up. Show them the number 4.
Here, it's like, okay, we separate, but when you move outside of Maryland, we all the same.
We all the same.
Canada is,
but you gotta play your role.
Canada is Be More for real. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Welcome to BMore4Real podcast. Get ready for the realest conversations anywhere on the net.
Keep it locked with us.
Elvis.
Whoa. It's Be More for real. Be More for real. Realest conversations on the net, man. Brought to you by way of Real Explosions, man. Y'all already know what time it is. #1 podcast in Baltimore. Y'all know what time it is, man. Be More for real, man. We're going to go ahead and clap that up. We already got a comment. I send the icon, Big Brother Eric, man. You already know what time it is with the EBJR, man. He said, let's go. He said, let's go. Be More for real. Let's go. We in the building, man. Let's go. Be More for real, man. Number one conversation on the net. Rated R for reality. Rated R for reality. Brought to you by way of Real Explosion. You know, it's been a long week. I appreciate being in front of the fans. I appreciate being in front of all of our viewers and all of our subscribers. We got a good one for you guys, right? We're going to make sure that we get our guests on. We got a real special guest for you guys. We're going to make sure we bring together videos for you guys. Like, this show is going to be a show pretty much like it been. We're going to go ahead and clap that up. Be More for real. Be More for real. I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Be More for real. Look, it's been a long week, and I just want to make sure everybody knows about Ascend the Icon. We can go ahead and pull that up. Ascend the Icon. You know, Big Brother Eric, y'all can tune into him on the Be More Sports Talk on Monday nights. You know, elevate, believe, just rise. You know, with confidence, we can elevate. With everything we'll believe, and then with all else, we'll just rise. Ascend to an icon. We appreciate you, Big Brother Eric. We can go ahead and clap that up. We got the Robert Blunt collection in the house. He said Bobby B is in the house. Bobby B is in the house, man. We appreciate all of our viewers and subscribers. Bobby B is in the house. So, you know, we appreciate all of our viewers and subscribers. This is imperative that y'all follow us through these next couple of weeks, man. Through these next couple of weeks is going to be imperative. Very important. That's another word for important, because, you know, English got a lot of words for a lot of different words. It's going to be very important that you guys follow us for the next few weeks. It's coming up. We have a lot of different events, and Ascend the Icon, we appreciate you. He said, thanks, brother. Love you. Appreciate you more, man. We got cups. We got cups for you, man. We got multiple cups. We got multiple gear. EBJR, Ascend the Icon, man. One of the realest out there. Make sure y'all stay tuned to Be More Sports Talk. Make sure y'all go and check out the whole Be More Sports Network. And matter of fact, while I'm at it, let me do this. Let's go ahead and play that Be More Sports Talk clip.
I'm gonna kill these mofos for real. Give me a chance. It was more of a comment, right? They don't date because of passport.
But anyway, I gave y'all props. That's it. I'm done with y'all. That's it.
Oh, keep it coming, keep it coming. It's not the end. It's not the end. V's a legend. Like.
That's super.
So, I mean, sometimes stuff like that does cause a distraction. So, had him off his game. Like, he knew something was coming out. Like, pipeline, when he was kicking that ball, something else was going through his head. 16 therapists, accusations, from 2012 to 2016. God. Yeah, it's kind of weird because, like, the timing of it, but just for 16... What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, obviously,
I was like, who does that? Who does that? Who does that?
So, right, like people think you just go in there and boom, one cut, and it takes time and effort.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to really invest into it. And
right.
You got to really
Tune in to Be More Sports Talk Live every Monday at 7 p.m. exclusively on the Be More Pod Network.
I'm gonna kill these mofos for real. Give me a chance.
Oh my goodness, man. That's a great segment. And I'm gonna tell y'all one thing, man. The Be More Pod Network, the Be More Sports Talk, everything that they have going on, you have to follow it. These guys are setting waves, setting precedents. Dennis, Lene, Joey, Eric. I mean, everybody, brother Kai, Sarah, everybody that's involved, even Ivy, you're going to learn a lot more just by listening to the broadcast. I just want to say I appreciate you guys for doing what you guys do. We have a couple of announcements just to run off for the beginning of the show, but stick with us as we're going to get into the meat of tonight. And it's going to get juicy. We're going to have videos. It's going to get spicy and all that. But let's go to homegoing service for a man named Jesus. Now, this one is for immediate release, of course. It's also a sold out play. So we got to make sure that we support and we got to make sure that we go ahead and buy those tickets as fast and as soon as possible. Excuse me. April the 18th is coming right upon us. This is the homegoing service, for a man named Jesus to the Huber Community Life Center, located at 5700 Lock Raven Boulevard in Baltimore, Maryland, where Reverend Dr. P.M. Smith is the pastor. The performances will take place on Good Friday on April the 18th, 2025 at 12 p.m. and 5 p.m. This is a hugely successful gospel stage play. The production is coming from a sellout shows in 2023 and in 2024. It's written and awarded by award-winning playwright Ursula V. Battle and is directed by the highly acclaimed director Dr. Gregory Branch. This powerful modern-day depiction of the story of some of Jesus's many miracles, including Apostle Paul, the disciples, the woman at the well, the woman with the issue of blood. Their stories during funeral services are held at the glorious congregation of the gospel of Jesus Christ upon this rock church of the Redeemed Tabernacle. So we want to go ahead and make sure we support them as well. We also have Sanford and Son, brought to you by none other than Ricky Shackelford and the legends, Ricky Shackelford. And we got a lot of stars, a lot of entertainers. This is another sell out event. So we want to make sure that we get you guys posted with what's going on in the community. And also we have a Mother's Day event with the legends Howard G and Ricky Shackelford. They have the Mother's Day event. Get your tickets early. They're gonna cost more at the door. You guys know what's in store. It's the Mother's Day event. So make sure y'all go ahead, and it's a QR code on the screen right there at your bottom right, I believe, on your bottom left. Excuse me. But scan that QR code. Make sure y'all go ahead and uh, get your tickets to this Mother's Day event. It's on Saturday, May the 17th at 8 p.m. And it's brought to you by none other than the legends Ricky Shackelford, the real deal Shackelford, and Howard G. And we're going to go ahead and clap that up, man. We're going to go ahead and clap that up. All right. So as I regress or digress, Be More Pod is awesome. And we appreciate those guys. And they actually employed me for a lot of work. And so I want to make sure I do my due diligence just by shouting out Be More Pod. And we're going to roll this next clip real quick. Let's get to it.
His studio etiquette is amazing. Like even at 5, he already knew like, yeah, I want this like that. Move that right there. That's a gift. That can't be.
Got a video for Gwen Hilton. Y'all go ahead and run that video while I pop these bottles. Pop the bottle, baby.
But you get up on the table.
I want you to get up on that table. That's
and you stop.
First of all, it was the facial expressions I was making. I was looking at everybody else. Not too many people could sing like that.
Entertainment report. Entertainment report.
They ready. They ready. We do this so we can show other people's talent, and the talent that's inside them is what they love is inside of you, man. They give they point out their passion, they love outside of themselves, man. And 9 times out of 10, if a person is going for trying to reach a goal, there's something inside of them, they got to have help.
That's my friend. Like, we here. We same with me. Like, we here. We
Be More Pod, your liveliest destination. Come and join Dennis, Lene, and Joey every Thursday at 7 p.m. Your talent will make room for you.
Yeah. Be More Pod, man. The network is crazy. Brother Bobby B, he said Ricky Shackelford, the godfather of Baltimore comedy, for sure. And Howard G. Make sure y'all go ahead and check them out, man. I mean, if y'all not doing anything, what else are y'all doing? You understand what I'm saying? Other than supporting our people. And a center icon, he said, hey, we appreciate y'all. We just have a couple announcements just to run off real quick. Y'all heard the play. The only other thing is the D Zone podcast, man. Make sure you guys go ahead and go over to the D Zone podcast. We're going to go ahead and play that clip for y'all, but it's important for not only y'all to follow the podcast, but follow what we're doing and follow the people that we're telling y'all to follow for good reason and for good measure. But let's go ahead and run that clip. Let's do it. Let's do it.
What it do? It's your girl D-Nice right here, and you are now live in the D-Zone, baby. Listen,
she want to be treated right. Okay, so what is a red flag for you?
A red flag for me, you don't got a passport.
Okay,
you don't have a passport.
Are you ready to get flued out or not?
Listen.
That was the moment where people who grew up with me and knew me before Quicksilver, people who still call me Rico, even though, I've been based out of the DC area for the last 20 plus years. Baltimore's always been home. To have a street name after you is like, you can't put that to work. That probably for me is one of my most proud moments, because for my grandma to be there it makes it more special now that she's gone, because at least she got to see all that I've become.
So I I need to know what is your status? Are you single? Are you straight? Are you?
I'm married.
You're married. Yeah. Are you married to a male, female?
I'm married to a male.
You're married to a male. Okay, so I gotta ask: have you ever in your life, Skyra? Yeah, we getting deep right into it. Fuck it.
Yes.
Like fuck it. You ever dated a female ever in your life?
I was married to a woman for 7 years.
Whoa!
Yeah. Oh my God. I was married to a woman for 7 years.
Come on, I'm with you. Then that's all I'm gonna say.
There you
Put it like this. It's been females that I known that my niggas didn't hit and I didn't give 2 fucks.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Not
feel
at
some
all.
type of way.
I didn't. It's to the point. It's to the point where it was a week apart. Matter of fact, one time it was a night apart. Like she left me and went with him. Type shit. We didn't care. Like
that's a little nasty.
She left me and went to him.
Yeah.
Welcome to the D-Zone Podcast, starring your best host, D-Nice. Live every Monday at 8 p.m. Exclusively on YouTube.
Whoa. We're gonna go ahead and clap that up, man. Go ahead and clap that up. We have some of the realest networks on the planet, but we're gonna ring the alarm. That doorbell sounding off. We got a guest. We got a special guest right here with us. We got a special guest. And I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Tell the people who you are.
Hello, I am Ivy Medusa. Yeah.
Ivy Medusa. That's you gonna leave it like that? Just
okay,
Ivy Medusa. Hello, you Ivy.
So my name is Lene. I go by Ivy or Ivy Medusa. I'm an artist. I'm a singer. I'm a writer. I do a mix of everything. I make body butters as well. I'm an overall creative and artist. Yeah, and that's a little intro, a little sneak peek, a little snippet before we get into it. I think that's okay.
Hey, that's more than okay. That's more than okay. We're gonna go ahead and clap that up. It's an icon. He said, hey, shout out to the D-Zone podcast. Hey, shout out to D-Zone, man, on Monday nights, man. Right after the Monday night sports zone. I think we holding it down for the podcast in Baltimore.
Yes.
And a lot of what we do is thanks to you as well. You play a lot of input in that. I don't think people know enough about you. So tell the people about yourself.
I do a little mix of everything, like I said. So what do you want to know? It's really the question, because what do I not do, right? Like
just you got tell them something.
Okay.
Because we can't do it without you, and you play a big part in everything that's going on. So tell the people a lot of what you do.
So as far as BMore4Real network, I am the media and marketing manager. I do a mix of things. I help when it comes to advertising, marketing. If you guys need some sponsorship, you need some promos, you need some commercials, hit me up. We got you. You let me know. But it's just a mix of everything. I do film, photography, behind the scenes. I do music. It just depends. Like I always bring a good vibe. I bring pressure. I bring, persistence. So it really just depends on what you need. I can transform. I can transmute.
Hey, transform. Oh, what the terminology? Let's get it. It's an icon said production queen in the house.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
You really are a production house by yourself. You produce a lot of things, and I don't think people know and understand or understand what you do. But
I don't think they get it. But
yeah,
they're gonna understand. They're gonna see soon enough.
I want to give you your flowers while you can smell them, and it's a pleasure to have you right here on this podcast.
I appreciate.
We're gonna clap that up. Y'all know us. We're gonna clap that up.
Thank you. Yeah, so I work with a lot of different artists and creatives as well as Danny. The great. So
you say you do what?
I worked with a lot of different creatives and collaborated with a lot of different artists as well. So I'm super excited about sharing that, getting back into that and continuing and growing from that as well. I worked in film and photography, right. As well as modeling. I did modeling for a while. I act as well. I worked with Alvin Gray when it came to the movie Flood.
Shout out Alvin Gray.
And Desi Alexander.
Shout out Desi.
Hilarious.
Shout out Jess.
Yes. Terry Jones, Goofy. everybody, the greats, and we still rising, we still ascending.
Shout out Terry, man.
To icon, so
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
But I work with a lot of different great and creative people, and I'm really excited. I'm appreciative for that opportunity. I'm grateful for the chance to be able to share and show what I can bring to the table as well. On Flood, I assistant directed that, but I also shot a lot when it came to a lot of those shots as well. So whatever Alvin Gray was not behind when you saw him on screen, it was me behind the screen. So I was AD and cinematographer. So I'm really grateful for him also. Working with Alvin has been a pleasure and an experience in itself because he's taught me a lot. I've learned a lot, but he also gave me the opportunity to really show what I can do and grow from, trial and error, but then also just being able to really show what you're able to do when someone gives you the chance, So
Absolutely.
I appreciate him for that, as well as BMore Pod, hands down. Just being able to work with them, and we have a lot of big things in the works and coming soon. So y'all stay tuned.
And coming soon, y'all stay tuned.
I promise you, I promise it's gonna be an amazing experience each and every time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We gonna go ahead and clap it up for Alvin Gray, BMore Pod, and everybody again, man, for real.
BMore greatness.
Let's just the whole
BMore Pod for real.
The whole DMV.
BMore4Real Pod.
The BMore4Real Pod, the whole DMV, everybody.
Yes.
I can't take credit for myself. I actually would, and I think Dennis, he always hate for me to say this, but I appreciate Dennis Maria. I appreciate you, Lene, Joey. I appreciate Sandy and everybody that's in the building because it's actually
we appreciate you too.
It's just like a conglomerate of talent there. And that's where I like to surround myself with. I like to surround myself with a conglomerate of talent so that we can grow and we can push each other further to do better things. So shout out to BMore Pod, man.
I love it. And it's always a good experience. And each and every time, I feel like it's transformative each and every interview or show that they have. And I'm just grateful to be a part of that experience. I feel like everyone comes together as a family to really make things work. And that's why it meshes and it's thriving so well and it's continuing to blossom, because
absolutely,
you said, your talent will make room for you, right?
Your talent will make room for you. Look at us. Look at God.
To BMore Pod, you never know where you're gonna go.
Look at us. Look at God. Look at us. Look at God. The center icon. He said the body butters are fire, multiple fire. BMore Paul said, "Hello, fam." He said, he said, "I'll give her and you your now, man."
Yes,
yeah, we appreciate that.
Thank you. Much
love. I appreciate that. We just giving y'all flowers right now. I mean, BMore Pod is awesome. Y'all just have to check them out. These on podcasts, y'all have to check them out. I mean, it's a whole network of people that's a part of this whole thing. One thing I will say as well, and Center Icon, he said flowers to all, and we appreciate that. One thing I will say is that the love and support that you receive from one another is really genuine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we really go through it. We go through battles, and we battle like a real family.
Like a real family, though.
But the love is genuinely there. It's so dope. Make sure to go ahead and check it out. BMore Pod, the whole network. I mean, they got BMore Pod on Thursday. They got Shameless on Tuesday. They got
BMore Sports Talk on
BMore
Mondays.
Sports Talk on Mondays.
Yes.
And there's many more to come.
So much more to come.
There's so much more to come.
So y'all gotta, you do not want to miss out.
I just want to make sure y'all go ahead over there and check out BMore Pod. Really go over there. It only takes 1 second. I don't care if you take a second out of this video. Take a second out of this video to go ahead over to BMore Pod and make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all share the channel. Your talent will make room for you.
And you'll see why we call it the BMore Pod fam, because like even when you come into the BMore Pod house, it's a whole different experience, but you feel like you're welcome at home. So you better check it out.
BMore Pod in the building, man. We're gonna go ahead and clap that. We're gonna go ahead and clap. He said, "Let's go, Danny Ryan Weatherspoon, Big Brother Ryan. You already know.
Yes,
I appreciate you, Big Brother Ryan. Like I really do. Like the fact that you here another week with me. I appreciate that, Big Brother Ryan. I gotta get you on here. Like we just got linked. We got linked together. But Ivy, this show, look, you the guest. You got the butters. They know about the butters, but they don't know about a lot of the other talents that you do, even though you mentioned them. So, is it cool that I play a little video or something like
Oh,
that?
let's go.
Not a video because it's unreleased, and she giving us exclusive content. So, is it cool that we play audio for you and give the people a little feel of
I would love
how you get down?
No,
That's
I
cool?
would love that.
That's cool?
That's really cool. Yeah, let's get it.
All
I hope
right.
y'all enjoy it. You let me know what you think.
All right. BMore Paul said flowers. We appreciate you, brother. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Much love.
Let's go ahead and get into it.
Do you know what love is? Do you really know? Do you know what love is? Do you really know? And maybe can you show me love now? And if you know what love is, can you show me love? And do you know what love is now? Okay, it's true, I do. I love you too. But what does that mean to you? I don't know how to feel. Is this real? Cause you say your actions don't prove. Baby, we should slow down. Take some time and talk about how you came about the love you say you found. Do you know what love is? Do you really know? Do you know what love is? Do you really know? And maybe can you show me love now? And if you know what love is, can you show me love? And do you know what love is now? You said the love you got was found. Mess with your mind, body, and soul. Said you use sex to regain control. Tryna let go of the pain that turned you cold. Well, baby, that's not the way it goes. No, no, oh, no. I understand.
Oh, Ivy.
Nah. Talk about. I'm so proud that you're my man. Thank you for trusting me, but I've gotta be honest. I've been through some things. Do we know what love is? Do we really know? Do we know what love is? Do we really know? And can we show up for loving? Do we know what love is? Is it safe to love here? I'm healing as I grow. Do we know what love is? Do we really know? Do we know what love is? Do we really show up? And is it safe to love here? Is it safe to heal here? Do we know what love is?
Wow, we gonna go ahead and clap that up. You gave us a whole performance. We gotta clap that up. BMore4Real. BMore4Real was in the building, man. BMore4Real was in the building. It's in the icon. He said BMore4Real. We appreciate, man. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all go ahead and like, share the stream and everything like that. So what made you come up with that song and stuff like that? Like, what was the motivation behind that?
I feel like everyone's experienced a situation or a type of relationship where they feel like they're in love and it's conflicting because it's like, okay, but I love you, I feel like I love you, but it's like, is this really love or is this lust? And we're all, trying to decipher through that because a lot of us weren't taught the difference between the two, and a lot of people don't want to have that conversation either.
Right.
But we gonna be for real, be more for real, so I had to put my own spin on it. I felt like there's been times where I've been in situations where I felt like I was giving my all. I felt like I was giving the love. And it was one of those where it's like, you say you love me, but like, I need to feel it, you know, like, and it's like if I'm expressing what I need from you, can I receive that from you, and you know, vice versa. So I would love to be able to reciprocate, you know, that synergy. And I feel like sometimes it can be as simple as a conversation. Sometimes it can be as simple as, okay, I feel like this is worth fighting for, you know.
Absolutely. Can you do me a favor and read that comment?
Where can we find that song? It is not released yet, love.
It's not released. I just said,
I promise you, I got you.
It's not released.
I got you. I got you.
It's a BMore4Real exclusive. And we totally appreciate you for being here and sharing that with us, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Only very few people get to share that moment, and I feel like a lot of people don't appreciate moments until they become memories.
Yeah.
I'll say that again. A lot of people don't appreciate moments until they become memories. So these are memories that we truly do cherish, where we are part of a special thing. And we appreciate that. BMore4Real. We're going to go ahead and clap that up.
Can I just real quick, can I say thank you for having me?
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I definitely can acknowledge that, you know, because in life, we all go through things. Everyone's life is lifing right now. Everyone is going through their own turmoils and things like that. And I feel like sometimes music is the easiest way to connect. A lot of people don't realize that until, you know, all you have is memories. And I'm one who can admit that myself, you know. So I'm also one who is big on self awareness and acknowledgement. And I feel like a lot of the things that I feel, sometimes it's hard for me to express myself verbally, you know, depending on what's going on, especially when my feelings are in it.
Yeah.
You know, your feelings, you
feel
don't want to
you.
be like, look,
I
the
feel
pride
you.
and ego. It's like, okay, let me put it to the side. But it's easier for me to put it out there when it comes to the music. And I guess that's another thing, because love is like, you gotta be humble sometimes. You gotta, you know, have humility. You have to, you know, put your pride and ego to the side and be like, hey, I really love you. Like, I want to make this work. Like, I don't want to play games. I don't want to play with your time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to play with your feelings, but I'm still trying to figure this out. You're trying to figure it out. I feel like it's worth fighting for. And sometimes some things are worth that, you know?
Man, that song is really awesome. And
I appreciate it.
And I appreciate the words behind it and the meaning behind it.
Thank you.
A lot of times, I guess we don't know what information is and we don't know what meaning is, but the song has meaning, it has vibe, it has all the things that you want in the song. So we appreciate you for sharing that song with us here.
Thank you.
And I met you through BMore Pod too.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what I was saying. Like, the dope talents, y'all got to check out BMore Pod.
You
like, if
have
y'all
don't want to miss
y'all
it.
crazy. You lost your mind.
Listen, wait. Can I just
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Because before we drop the subject, right? Because y'all remember, or have you seen the interview with Lauryn Hill where I think she was at one of the college debates or something, NAACP. Don't quote me on that. But
yeah, I ain't gonna say I know.
I don't remember the exact one, but you know, she toured a lot when it came to information and knowledge and just sharing her truth and what she had learned as well. And it was one of those segments where we don't know what true love or unconditional love is, you know, or if we finally get it, it's hard for us to fully accept it and receive it, because it's like once you get bored with it, it's like, I don't want that anymore, you know. And sometimes love is one of those things where it's like, it's not always going to be passionate thing, or you know what I'm saying. It's one of those. But I love Lauryn Hill, and I feel like she was a big inspiration to me as well. I feel like people need to stop sleeping on the old school music.
Well, I don't think people are sleeping on Lauryn Hill.
Not sleeping on it. No. But they had the issue with her current renditions. Give Lauren some grace.
Yeah.
Give the queen some grace.
Nitty Central says studio is fire. We appreciate y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. Let me comment that. One thing I want to do before we move on, and we so appreciate you, but you have so much more valuable things. You do a lot of things, and we're gonna have a real conversation with you guys, because this is BMore4Real. And in case y'all tuning in, and I know a lot of you guys tuning in because of Ivy, because we just ain't that important. BMore4Real ain't that important. Ivy is the reason why y'all tuning in. We know that, right?
Don't do that.
That's all cool. That's cool. We appreciate you for sharing your followers with us, right?
I appreciate you. Thank you.
We gonna get into deprogramming people to what they have been programmed to as well.
Yes.
And one of the things that I would like to get to before it's all said and done is the Carmelo Anthony, and I kept calling him last week because I couldn't remember his name and things like that. The young white man's name, and I want to make people sure that I wasn't doing that on purpose, because Metcalf, Austin Metcalf, the one that was killed. I want to make sure that I stress the fact and Be More for Real stress the fact that we have our heart sent out to people that lose their lives. It's more serious than you think, and things like that. But I want to get into some of the videos that we have, and I want to know your thoughts and opinions on that, especially as a woman, especially as a black woman and stuff like that.
Okay.
We just want to get your thoughts and opinion, and stay tuned for the show, because guess what, y'all, we got the first part out the way, but now it's about to be a ride. You understand what I'm saying? Because we're gonna get into some real things.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and we just gonna cut to the first video, right?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
So to everybody that said Melo need to go to jail, I want y'all to keep that same energy with what I'm about to show y'all. Okay, so this right here is Mr. Joe Ramirez. This is Kason Allison, who stabbed Joe Ramirez in a school bathroom and was placed on house arrest. What are we talking about here, man? His trial actually started, I want to say either today or yesterday. And no, everything y'all said Carmelo need, this person needs. And let's be clear here. The reason that this case is not as publicized as the Carmelo case is because the assailant looks like that. And the victim looks like that. This case right here was not national news because the victim was Hispanic and the assailant was Caucasian. Yes, I'm saying it again because I need y'all to hear it, understand this. Same situation, except the aggressor was also the unaliver. And what y'all said Melo needed, Melo needed life. He needed all this. He needed the death penalty. He needed all. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. Keep the out. You know what? Y'all better not have no Kyle Rittenhouse energy for this man. Y'all better not. Nope. So.
Okay, so this is the thing. This program is made to deprogram. Excuse me. This program is made to deprogram you to what you have been programmed to, and the reason why I say this is because there is a war on the algorithm. Mm-hmm. And you guys seen the title of the video: China, U.S., the war on the algorithm. Now we're about to get into it and what we mean by that. And it's imperative that you listen, you like, share, and follow. Also, before I even delve into this story, I will tell you about a guest that we have coming up in a few weeks as well. And they have a plight. They have a plight in child custody, right? In a child custody battle. And it'd be something, it is something like you have never imagined before. You know, when you typically talk about child custody, you talk about the mother and the father or whatever, the grandparents against the grandparents, but we're talking about custody between a family and the state. And what we're going to do here in the next couple of weeks is we're going to get you guys to join this stream. And it's coming up very soon. I believe it's May the 14th. Is on this Wednesday. And no longer are we going to be just talking about things like this. For instance, we're not going to be talking about things like this. We're going to be proactive and doing something about this. And that's the part of Be More for Real. It's not only Be More for Real about our thoughts, but Be More for Real about our actions as well. So as I regress or digress, which is the same thing. Yes. And positive this series, man. Brother Jerome, he said very. We're gonna get into it, man. We appreciate all the comments, man. Spam the comments so we can get in the algorithm. Y'all know this is Be More for Real. It's important. Make sure y'all this is Uncle Wayne's birthday month. Make sure y'all go ahead and shout out Uncle Wayne. Okay. Type Uncle Wayne in the comments, spam Uncle Wayne in the comments, do y'all thing. Make sure y'all do y'all thing. But anyway, as we digress, we just seen the video, right?
Yeah.
With young brother Carmelo Anthony with a K. Right. We're not talking about the basketball player, but young brother Carmelo Anthony. He's facing scrutiny and things like that over him stabbing another young 17-year-old boy by the name of Austin Metcalf.
Right.
And I said it was Fresno, California last week. I was absolutely wrong about that.
Frisco,
my mind was going haywire. It was Frisco, Texas, just like you said. Frisco, Texas.
It was North Carolina, no?
No, Frisco, Texas.
Okay.
I think that's what you just said. But Frisco,
yeah,
Frisco, Texas. And this is the power of the algorithm. And we haven't even got to China yet, but I would love to hear your thoughts on what happened to young Austin Metcalf. What would you like to do? You would like to read the comments, or Before you give your interjection, would you like to read the
Do you want
comments?
to highlight the comments real quick? He's trying to highlight something real quick.
Okay. Let's start with
And
the
then we can
first
go
one.
into the
We appreciate you, brother
commentary
Jerome.
about
Let's
it.
go ahead. Could you read that for the people?
I am so excited to hear about you taking steps to get activated. It's not about the potential, but it's the kinetic energy that will affect and make positive change for Baltimore. I love
Absolutely. And we can go ahead and clap that up.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead and clap that up.
Yes. Happy birthday, Uncle Wayne. I got you a birthday present, buddy. Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Uncle Wayne birthday month. Y'all better
Happy
cut up for him. Man.
Some cool drip. Okay.
Some cool drip. Hey, brother Jerome, we appreciate you. Okay. Sorry about. I would love to know your thoughts and opinion on this, and then I'm definitely gonna give you the Be More for Real thought on this as well. So
Okay.
I'm open up the floor, and I'm gonna start with you.
So do you want my thoughts and opinion as far as which perspective first?
No perspective, just your perspective on the whole
situation.
Yeah, on the whole Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony situation. They're both young 17-year-old boys.
They are, and rest in peace to Metcalf. I do feel like it is a tricky situation and conversation. It's very controversial in itself because when you look at it, does it not somewhat spike or give you some type of reminder of Kendrick Johnson? At one of those where it's like, okay, maybe he felt as if he needed to defend himself. Maybe he felt like he was cornered. Maybe he.
So
felt
for the
like,
people that don't know, who is Kendrick Johnson?
Kendrick Johnson is a young man whose case has still not been closed, who has still not gotten justice for his passing, his murder, and that happened back in what year was that? Was that? Don't get me to saying the exact date, but it's been over at least 5 to 10 years that his case has still not been solved. Correct me if I am wrong, but I definitely feel like that's one of those. And then you can mention many, even as far as Trayvon Martin. There's a lot. And that's not even touching the surface, So it's just one of those things where maybe he felt as if he was alone in that situation, that he felt he had nobody to defend himself against, or had anybody to call for backup. I'm not justifying violence, but at the same time, we don't know what the situation is. And unfortunately, Metcalf is not here to speak for himself as well.
Absolutely.
But it's one of those where it's like, was it bullying? Was it hazing? Was it a racial type of intimidation? Like, I don't justify taking a life, but you never know what measures someone feels like they might have to take to defend themselves.
We can go ahead and clap that up real quick. We got the comments rolling in. Man, make sure y'all spam the comments because we got to go in. Make sure y'all spam the comments. Be More Park, could you read that for me?
Yes. It says we should not be surprised. We should not be surprised that this is the way they treat us. We must understand before we act.
Absolutely. Positive, the series, brother Jerome.
Power of the algorithm is magnificent and mighty. I mean, just from a marketing standpoint and from a viewership standpoint, it can bring your audience members that you didn't know you had.
Absolutely. Right. And y'all wrote in the comments saying, man,
Thank you for the support.
Be Paul said, happy birthday, Uncle Wayne.
Yes.
Positive the series said, definitely really realize that you need he said, excuse me, definitely realize that you need they will bring them through the algorithm. And Nitty Central said, happy B-Day, Uncle Wayne, more life. You already know. Rest in peace, Metcalf. And he said it's nice to see you on OMG Danny with some feminine energy to balance it out. I like it. Be more for real. Y'all already know. Look, y'all already know. It's not gonna be a one-sided thing. But what we will do is hone the focus in. And I want you to stick with me too. And I want everybody to stick with me. Yeah. Because this is extremely important.
It is an important
See, the algorithm is made to control the thoughts of people. See, a lot of us would like to think that our thoughts are our own, when really they are programming us. I appreciate that. No, they are programming us to feel and think the way that we feel
every day.
And every time that we see situations like this, we are reminded how white supremacy and all these things are. And I know people will be like, yo, you black and all this other stuff. You can't use white supremacy, but no. Let's chill, brother. Let's chill, sister. What I will say is this. Maybe individually, we can't use racism or systemic racism individually and say, you know what, I'm not ish because the government and because the judges and because the lawyers. Maybe we can't say that individually, but as a collective, we can damn sure say that the government has been built and predicated on the demise and the destruction of the families,
Systematic
especially
oppression is
the
definitely
black
a
family.
thing. Systematic oppression is definitely a thing.
And
it's definitely still current.
Right. And the algorithm, what it does is, what they doing is, and I'm going to say this, we're going to have a real raunchy conversation because we be more for real. What they're trying to create is a race war, not knowing that white people need black people as much as black people need white people in order to overcome situations like these.
Divide the minds.
We need white people that understand that, racism is systemic. You guys did go through 400 years of oppression and all this stuff. We need black people to understand that, we were systemically oppressed. And that's not an excuse to do better with ourselves, but it should be a catapult or a catalyst to further ourselves. Yeah. And that's the difference between where we are now.
I agree. You also have to consider the fact of where and what is continually funneled into the algorithm as well. So even if they try, and I'm not excusing anything, but we have to be accountable as well. We have to be accountable as well. So it's like, even though they might be forcing and like kind of force feeding, like tube feeding, okay, direct marketing is at its most fundamental level. But what is the main thing that they're pushing right now? Toxicity. What is the main thing they're pushing right now? Divide and conquer. What are the degradation of the black man and woman? Like, so it's one of those things we have to hold ourselves accountable to, because okay, are we supporting the message or are we dividing ourselves from it? Now, we do have some who are also, brought along to divide, but with a deceiving type of guys as well. Absolutely. And that is where it gets tricky. So it's like we have to hold ourselves accountable because we have too many people holding cherries.
And they cherry picking. Yeah, and they cherry picking all through
and aren't
this.
actually using the platform that they have to really put out what we need to be talking about and what we need to be preaching about and what we need to be reminding ourselves and the kids and the youth. And you know what I'm saying? Because how do you expect us to elevate outside of where we are now and to get back to some of the things? Our history is way before slavery regardless. But most people aren't aware of that because they want to whitewash a lot of stuff. I'm not trying to get preachy, but it's just one of those things.
No, don't get preachy.
Of people who have the platform.
You're doing well.
And don't use it to the ability that they can. And I will hold myself accountable. Like, I'm still trying to find a way to merge the gap.
Right.
But it's one of those things. The algorithm has a certain key and tone where it's like, if it's not this, it's not going to be funneled like that. Now, it depends on your vibration and your mindset too.
Right.
Because if that is what you're looking for, then that's what you will receive, right?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely. And we can go ahead and clap that up real quick. Let's go ahead and clap that up. All right. So now, we are really about to dive deep into this. And we don't have a lot of time, but we appreciate our viewers and our comments.
Thank you so much.
We really will appreciate if you share your opinions with this podcast because it's going to get deep. And we still stand on 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony and 17-year-old Austin Metcalf.
Yes,
we're still on them.
And I'm gonna be honest. Hey, it might be controversial. Some people might feel some type of way about it, but I'm glad he was able to get bonded out because you never know what he would have dealt with inside those cells. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And that's a whole nother conversation people don't really want to face because he might really be innocent. I speak. Hey, I was not there. I cannot say nothing. Hey. But I'm just saying, if he's saying he self-defense, like why should he continuously be harassed while he's at least waiting to speak his own truth? You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like that's fair either.
Okay, and you're absolutely right. We have a lot of
They
comments.
said they got him on house arrest.
We got a lot of comments. I want you to start off with this one. Can you read this one for me?
You just want me reading everything. Okay. But can you say that the system was rigged and set up by the man in power? Of course we can. Of course we can. Who's saying
can
it's
you
not?
say the system was rigged and set up by the man in power?
Yeah, we can say that. I definitely could agree to that.
I'm agree with that too.
I'm gonna take it one further, right? Because you can take it even outside of this one situation. You could do Trayvon Martin. You could say with that situation. You could talk about Kanika Jenkins. You could talk about Sandra Bland. Rest in peace to all these souls.
You can talk about Emmett Till, who was another 14-year-old a century
and
before.
That woman came out on her deathbed admitting that she lied about that.
Lied. And so this is
Man.
our plight. This is our plight, and it is a black plight, and we need white people to
bring
stay
back
focused.
Lovecraft Country.
We need them on outside. Read the comment for me.
Bring back the show Lovecraft Country, but that's another segment. Okay. You could say the white man or the Caucasian man was the government, but let's face it, the men in power usually don't look like you, me, or Danny. No, you're absolutely correct. And then if you think about it, no. Okay, now,
Go ahead.
Do y'all know about King Los? Now, he had a freestyle.
Baltimore's finest.
Yes, what you mean? What am I talking about?
It's BMore4Real.
Of course y'all know about King Los.
Los.
Excuse me. Apologies. Yes, put some respect on his name.
Yeah.
But one of his freestyles that I fell in love with was one of my favorites. It was one of the lines was shoot, and now I put myself on the spot because shoot.
I know what you're talking about when he was talking about the slave masters.
Yes,
I know exactly what you were talking about, but I can't remember.
How you gonna the same? Oh shoot! The same slave. What is it? The same book they gave you to pray to is the same slave master they pray to or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm misspeaking right now. Don't paraphrase me right now, y'all. I got vibes. I got vocals. I got melodies. So I'm not a rapper, but I love intellectual knowledge. I love like the truth of it all. You know what I'm saying? And that's some real shit because he said even if you watch The Great Debaters, the Willie Lynch theory, you know what I'm saying? They divide and conquer. They will turn us against each other. Exactly, the race war. They'll turn us against each other within our own race to try to divide us and try to separate us from our true selves and from us being able to truly tap in. Now, also, that's what it was. Why would you go back to the same God they gave you if the same God was the one that they gave to enslave you? And 400 years later, and you hardly stable? Or something like that. I'm blanking right now.
Yeah, that's bars though.
But listen,
that's bars though, and you quoted it like no other. What I want to do is give y'all just a quick visual. Let's go ahead and get into a quick visual. We're gonna get into the comments.
Let's check it out.
Spam them comments too. Let's just get into a quick visual.
Don't quote me on
this is
Los, but y'all just
this is right after
Carmelo
Anthony was released from jail. Let's look at this.
Let's get into it.
You went straight to the car, okay? He's like, look, just keep on moving. All right. All right. Come on now. Just follow back behind us. In the next. Just stay close, okay? Yes, sir. All right.
Carmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say, Carmelo? Do you have anything that you'd like to say to the victim, to the family of the victim? Why were you armed, sweetheart? Carmelo, why were you armed at school? Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
Excuse me.
Carmelo,
is there anything you want to say to the community that's donated?
All right, so look, that was when he was being released from jail, right?
That lady could have backed up.
That's paparazzi for you.
I don't care.
And it is. It's private.
And he's still a child. He's still a young adult. So.
But look, this program is made to deprogram you what you've been programmed to.
You're right.
Because last week I had brought up Kyle Rittenhouse, right? Mm-hmm. How he had went from Illinois to Kenosha, Wisconsin, just across state lines, and they don't like to hear this. And like I said, I'm not biased about the thing. I think he was defending himself. He was on the ground before he shot. But what I'm saying is the defense that he got, the freaking amount of, what do you call that? GoFundMe the GoFundMe's that they
Listen,
had for Kyle Rittenhouse
was
and for
ridiculous.
is crazy. And I mean, like, it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when we do it. And
wasn't it the same boy who ended up getting a whole meal or something before he ended up getting turned in?
That wasn't him, but that was another one.
There was another one. They took
That
him
was
to like
Charleston.
McDonald's. Yeah, they took him to McDonald's. I mean, that ain't no
Dylan Roof.
meal.
That was Dylan Roof.
That's not a meal. But still, the fact that they took him to go grab something to eat before taking him to go get booked, like, that's crazy. You would not get that type of privilege. Freddie Gray, rest in peace. You don't get that type of privilege when you got this type of skin.
Right. But that was Dylan Roof. And what I'm saying is
I'm not
that
disagreeing.
we can see no, it's no disagreement at all. But what I'm saying is that we can see that when it's cool when they do it, it's a problem when I do it. That's what Finesse. That's what Finesse 2 times said, right? Right. You already ready. You already know what's up after that, right? It's cool when you do it, but it's a problem when I do it. Like, you guys have been doing this for hundreds of years. And see, look, trust me, I have white friends. And my thing is, I have these conversations with the white people that I deal with. Do the white people have these conversations with the black people they deal with? That's the problem. The conversations that you have in the house. And see, we don't think that it is systemic the way that racism is. And I will say that and I didn't bring this video up either.
Most people don't realize it.
I didn't bring this video up, but Maryland right now has reparations on the table of discussions.
For real?
Yeah, they do. For real. They have reparations
Y'all hear that?
on the table, on the discussions for real, right?
No, that's good.
And it is good. But what it's not good for is those black people and all that stuff that want to brown nose the white people so bad and say, we don't need this, we don't need that, then don't be a part of the reparations if or when we get them.
See, here's the thing.
I ain't saying we're going to get reparations,
No, but
I'm just saying, don't try to have your hand out like, where's mine at when you've been brown nosing.
I was just about to say, like, I feel like those are the same ones that you can't come back and try to claim the race that you just, like, talk down on and try to, like, dissociate yourself from. Just to go, you can't coon to come back. Like, there's no.
You can't coon to come back.
You can't do that.
This ain't Cancun.
Because God, hell, excuse me, I can't.
My bad, but hell yeah. This ain't Cancun. You can't coon to come back. This ain't Mexico. This ain't Mexico.
Can't do that here. No,
right.
You can't coon. But absolutely. No, you can't expect to have that same type of You can't expect the community to receive you in that type of way either. You know what I'm saying? If you go so hard, especially when it comes to certain people, like I was just thinking Candace Owens, but that's a whole other conversation. That's a whole other conversation. That's all like, wait, you got me.
But you know what? I do like Candace Owens a little bit.
I don't dislike her.
But I do dislike some things, right? I don't
exactly, and that's where it gets tricky because her standpoint on certain things is not incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
But some people, here's the thing: most people don't like the truth if you don't put sugar on it. If you don't put some honey or some sugar, a little bit of,
you ain't going to attract the bees.
They're not trying to have it.
Right.
And I get it. You got in order to attract bees, you got to give honey, right? But sometimes you got to put the shit out there.
Right.
You got to put it out there. And not everybody is ready for that, and that's why there is that bite back. That's where that backlash comes into play because most people aren't really ready or wanting to receive the truth. You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
And
they
look,
want it though.
This program is made to deprogram what you've been programmed to. And see, look, coming up in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna make sure that we ask and require of our viewers to step up for a major cause.
The truth is not pretty all the time. It's really not.
For a major cause. And I'm telling you, it's coming up. Let's get to some of the comments real quick. We have a lot of comments, and we appreciate y'all, man. We really do.
But a lot of people don't want to realize the truth. Honestly, that's really what it is.
We really do. Can you read some of the comments for a second?
Yes, sir. We read this one.
We read this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go and skip down. Brother John, we appreciate you. He said,
"Think about the Monopoly game. Imagine being passed for go 400 rounds before we got a chance to roll the dice to play the board. Think about it."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He said,
"Remember your hashtag, people. Remember your hashtags."
And then,
so that's not feeding into the degradation. Let's not feed into the degradation. Let's feed into the present message. Oh, it blocked. The present message and a new message. Let's create new hashtags.
For real.
Of course. But we can't forget the ones who have fallen for what we're talking about now, though, either.
We have Ascending Icon.
Kanye bugged out.
He said Kanye bugged out.
You're not
We
wrong.
got Nitty Central.
Yes, Nitty. She knows exactly what I was talking about. She said she's talking about when King Los was on LA Leakers, he was spitting. Yes, and if you heard it, you already know. If you have not heard it, you got to check it out. And matter of fact, he came back the beginning of the year, LA Leakers again. He did. He had more to say. So
yeah, King
gotta
Los.
check that out.
He raps about it.
Yeah.
Positive the series says.
Sorry, oh my gosh, I'm gonna leave y'all alone. I keep popping up on your I keep popping up on my rhetoric. I'm just listening now. It's okay.
No, you good.
Thank you for the
spam them
conversation.
comments. Spam them comments.
We appreciate it.
He said, raw underground multimedia. We appreciate you, brother Jerome.
Wait, go back. Yep, that's the one. Bring Lovecraft Country back. Yes. Okay, Lovecraft Country. If y'all have not checked it out, y'all gotta check it out.
What is
Please
that?
show the world Black people where the magic began. We possessed it first. We own the world first. We are the world. If you have not seen Lovecraft Country,
I have not seen
y'all
Lovecraft
gotta
Country.
check it out. And I feel like they need to bring that back. Now, my thing is, I know they canceled it. It was only one season that we got.
Okay.
It's disappointing. But I'm really hoping someone brings it
there's
back.
another show now that you mentioned it that's just like that I would love to come back on. I think it was Netflix. Don't quote me wrong, but
Which one?
It's not it's Black AF. Black ASF.
Yes. No. Black
I'm
AF.
like, yo, yeah, they only had 8 episodes or something like that. It
I
wasn't even
dislike
10.
when they do that. Like, don't tease
that
me
was really good. And he had the guy in there, it was a Jewish guy, and he kept wearing the sweatsuits, and that was really good by Kenya. I can't remember his name. Kenyatta with Kenya.
Let's check it out.
But anyway,
butcher it though.
Great series. I mean, like, we do great things.
Yes.
And this is my thing, right? And why we talking about Austin Metcalf and all this stuff. My main thing is that the media is made to control the minds of the masses. It's almost like a religion. The media is created to control the minds of the masses.
It is
and
a
what
religion
I mean by
to an
that is like,
extent.
okay, they're gonna say Dylan Roof, they're gonna say that this happened, that happened. I will put it like this. And I'm not right about what I'm saying. I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm just saying that when you have to take a knife or something to a track meet and all that stuff, you probably shouldn't be there. There's also photo evidence that I've seen. I couldn't verify it, but that Austin Metcalf took guns to the event. And who's to say that he wasn't using them? And they say that they didn't know each other, but Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony actually knew each other. They got pictures on Instagram.
I was going to say, so
Facebook
was this a case of
like
cyberbullying that went way too far, and they both started threatening and wasn't really sure?
I wouldn't say it's cyberbullying, but I would say that this is a case of the government again. And I have to say this, and I'm not against the government, but I am against the government when it does not fulfill the capacity where it's supposed to fulfill. The government say that all men are created equal at the same time and say that
but they don't
Black
treat us that
people
way.
Are created 3/5 of a man, the same government, the same constitution at the same time. So I'm questioning these things, and I want us to question these things as well as Black people.
Yeah.
And I want the white people to question these things. And we're going to get into the videos. I'm not going to keep you long, but what I will say is this, is that they are pinning this against Black and white people when really two kids had a dispute, and we have to raise our kids the right way. I think that's the
biggest point of it all. It happened with the
missing
kids.
the point.
And that's the issue that people are really ignoring. Like, it keeps happening with the kids. All these things are happening at schools or at school events,
right,
or mall meetups. We need to get back in the homes. Like, that's really where it starts.
Right.
Because
in
these
the
kids
home.
aren't coming out here with all this aggression for no reason. They're not. And then, sure, they might see certain things on TV. They might see certain things on video. But, like, where are they receiving so much programming outside of just the TV? And it might not even always be the aggression. It's just like, okay, if they aren't getting enough attention, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's a balance that has to be had.
Right. Absolutely. And it is a balance that has to be had. And we have to understand, too, and understand, because I'm not trying to make excuse for Black people, but Black people have an excuse for the way that we behave. It's only been
We have an
because
excuse, but we
of
also
so
have a
much
solution, and most people don't want to acknowledge a
It's only-
solution. We got to acknowledge the problem to
and
fix
we do.
it.
And our problems are our problems.
Yeah.
And this is why we have to face them ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get into it about
And
the
we have
China
to
and
hold
US
ourselves
dispute.
accountable.
Trust me, it's gonna get into there.
Yeah,
right?
we got
And
to
this
hold
where-
ourselves accountable.
This is where I wanted to go with the conversation too. And we also have some other comments. Could you do
Lovecraft. Lovecraft is a joint with Jonathan Majors. I think got to tap into that as well. Yes, Nitty, you got to check that out. It's really good.
So Lovecraft is what it is, and
With
you have
John
a
Craft.
topic.
Yeah.
Nitty Central has a topic. Let us know the link and things that we can follow the conversation with, because we want to follow this conversation wherever it goes, and this conversation gonna take off to wherever it takes off to. Let's go ahead and just go on to the next video.
Can I just throw
real
out a quick tidbit? I know we don't have a snippet of it, but maybe just like, I know everyone has seen it, right? Where, okay, you were talking about how social media is kind of morphing or transmuting into a religion. I would agree with that. I definitely would, because what is this meta AI? And then have
Can you
y'all
read the
seen-
comment too real quick?
It's a lot. Oh wait, it's a lot of what we listen to, as well as what we are. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a lot of what we listen to as well as what we are. No, you're right. It depends on what you listen to, you start to resonate and start to vibrate off that frequency. You keep listening to low vibrational music, then you become low vibrational.
Right,
You
and we
listen to-
appreciate the comment as well. But
Thank you.
Let me
No.
not get you off track. What were you saying
but
before?
she's correct. So you continue to listen to that type of music, it will throw you off. So you have to recenter yourself. You got to ground yourself. And right now, it's so much going on.
Well, can I say something about that then, since she already talked to the music? Yeah. Now, I was talking about last week, and if you haven't looked at the episode that happened last week, right? I was talking about the major Mongol media executive, the major Mongol media executives. I was talking about the major Mongol media executives. One of them by the name of Leo Cohen. Another one by the name of Clive Davis. Now, I'm going to tell you, Clive Davis, he's the one that groomed Diddy. And we talking about all this stuff, and Diddy doing all this stuff, and he's in jail right now, but Clive Davis is alive and free right now. We can slice it and dice it however we want to, but we have been groomed and conditioned to be the way that we are. But
I'm so sick of him. I want justice for Whitney. I want justice for, and I'm saying it. I said it. Yeah.
Let me bring this up real quick so they can see what I'm talking about. We talked about this last week. Let me bring it up just so y'all can see.
Really rough, particularly on women. But I think it helped change the course of the crack epidemic. I don't know what's this opioid thing, man.
But being a crackhead wasn't cool back then. Being a crackhead wasn't cool. Now they seem like they're making it cool to be drinking lean and syrup, and
it's the most dangerous. It's the most dangerous thing that's facing our society.
So why sign an artist that would promote that?
Because I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. She asked me talent or issues, and I said talent. But I have to. I can't give up on people.
But I'm saying that's hypocritical, though. You're saying the
it's
opioid problem's a problem.
opportunistic. Yeah. I got people to feed. I got a business to run.
You're gonna make Dame Dash take this clip and call you a culture vulture.
Who's Dame Dash? You brought.
Not him saying who is Dame Dash.
And that's what I'm
Sir.
saying. And that's what I was saying.
He gonna talk about I got people to feed, as if we don't all. But
Right.
isn't her health more important?
As if we don't all. I'm glad you put it like that. But this is why we have to look at this, because this is what social media and the algorithm is doing. We're gonna get into the algorithm in China. Just give us 1 second. We're gonna get into the algorithm in China.
And I really just feel like that's one of those situations where it's like, okay, yeah, but you are prioritizing the money over the person's health and well-being. So in the long run, but then they also say they make more off them than alive, you know?
Right, but
and that's exactly why he did what he did. Or
my
said
thing
what he
is this.
said.
My thing is this.
Mhm.
Who controls these things? And okay. In case you think I might have to go back.
You want to go down the
last
rabbit
week
hole
again.
with that one? You want to go down
I'm
the
gonna have
rabbit
to
hole?
elaborate on elaboration.
I want to say where we go. You going down the rabbit hole? Let's go.
I think we're gonna have to elaborate on the elaboration. And they said that Kanye West was crazy, right? Ye. They said Kanye West and Ye was crazy, and we're gonna get into this about the algorithm, right?
I got mixed feelings on Kanye.
we gonna do this. They said they got mixed feelings around him, right?
Yeah,
but look,
because how he spoke on the kids
is what he
not
said.
cool.
This is what he said, and this is what we have to realize.
Yeah.
And I just showed you Leah Cohen, Charlamagne the God, and he asked him, "Don't you think what you're doing is hypocritical?"
But Charlamagne can't talk either. But Charlamagne can't talk either because he's kind of hypocritical within his own actions and his rhetoric as well. So he really has some nerve and room to talk. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you go.
A lot of our black people do, though. And you ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. A lot of our black people do. A lot of our black people do.
Why does he have to feed off the people for? Yeah, exactly.
Why does he have to feed off the people for pain? But let me. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this.
Vampire.
And we already went through this last week. Make sure y'all like and share the stream. I'm telling you, it's the realest conversation on the net, and we're not gonna be before you long either. But let's go ahead and do this.
Part of Universal Studios, 20th Century Fox, ABC News, CBS News, Columbia Pictures, Warner Brothers, ESPN Sports, Fox News, Washington Post, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, MTV Music Television, Nickelodeon, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, Comedy Central, NBC Entertainment, Google, what else do we have? Disney, ABC Kids and Family, YouTube, Los Angeles Times, Discovery Network, Paramount Pictures, Facebook, Huffington Post, Yahoo, Marvel, Hulu, Cosmopolitan, Time, Touchstone, Associated Press, Pixar, Miramax, HBO, New York Post, LucasArts, MSNBC, DreamWorks Animation. Now, the thing is, I skipped over maybe about 5 of them because it was just unclear on this list. The red are the executives that are Jewish.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Okay, we're gonna clap that up, right?
So Kanye.
Let's clap that up real quick. Let's clap that up real quick. No. Don't. We'll be more for real. So
yes. Okay.
Let's discuss it.
No cut cards.
No cut cards.
Y'all don't really think that's the same. That's not the same Kanye. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. Okay. Mentally, he is not the same Kanye as the Kanye that we once knew and loved. And I feel like a lot of things can be chalked up to that: mental health, MK Ultra, handlers and whatnot. Most people aren't really open to those type of conversations or to that perspective. And I feel like that's something that needs to be looked at and considered as well.
Yeah, universal mind control. But
programming, like you mentioned, right?
Right. It's predictive programming.
Yeah.
It's made to predict and to program you to certain reactions and things like that. Mm-hmm. Just like this situation with Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf.
Yeah. Programming is also really well known with music. So
this also leads into the topic of the night because we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. The topic of the night.
Let's get
because
it.
All of it go into one and the same. The topic of the night, right? So China and US beefing over the algorithm, right?
Yeah.
And
it's a fair war, though.
They don't understand this, and this is the same thing, right? See, now we will understand as America with China feeding the algorithm with TikTok in America. And let me tell the people something. And we know this beyond reasonable doubt that what America sees on the TikTok platform, is not what the Chinese people see, and it's owned by China, by the way.
No,
they don't see none of that stuff on the TikTok platform, which is why they've had numerous attempts to ban TikTok in America.
But you can honestly say the same thing when it comes to most social media, when it comes to China and other countries. They do have a certain ban when it comes to certain content, when it comes to certain things for people, kids, and all that. Food.
But not America.
No, not America.
Not America.
Not America.
There are over
Poison
10,000 chemicals that they don't allow in other
countries.
Poison
the brain, poison the mind, poison
the
body. But most of these other countries don't allow that, which is why we keep having these issues with these countries. So y'all pay attention.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Pay attention.
And this goes in, trust me, it will tie right into the Austin Metcalf. It's going to tie right into everything else that we know because this system is predicated off of people being ignorant.
Yes.
Let's say for
the lack of knowledge.
Yeah. It's based off ignorance. The less you know, the more you're going to be pimped.
Yeah.
And that is the U.S. system.
And what they say, put it in a book.
Put it in a book
It's
so
right
niggas
under
don't
your
know.
nose. So
Put it in a book so niggas don't know. But it even gets way deeper than that. Let's go ahead and get to some of the deepest parts about this China US thing, and let's go ahead and pull up this video real quick.
They rob you blind and you thank them for it. That's a tragedy. That's a scam. That's why I'm saying this right now. Americans, you don't need a tariff. You need a revolution. For decades, your government and oligarchs ship your job to China, not for diplomacy, not for peace, but to exploit cheap laborers. And in the process, they hollowed out your middle class, crushed your working class, and told you to be proud while they sold your future for profit. And yes, China made money, but we used it to build roads, lift millions out of poverty, fund healthcare, raise living standard. We reinvested in our people. My family also benefited from it. What did your oligarchs do? They bought yachts, private jets, mansions with golf course driveways. They manipulate the market, dodge tax, and poured billions into endless wars. And you get stagnated wages, crippling healthcare costs, cheap dopamine, debt, and flagged wave property made in China while they pick your pocket. For 40 years, both China and the United States benefit from the trade, the manufacturing, but only one of us use that wealth to build. This isn't China's fault. This is yours. You let. They rob you blind and.
he's not wrong.
Whoa. Okay, he's not wrong
And
by
he's
a lot.
spilling a lot of information that the U.S. does not want us to know. So that's exactly another reason why they're trying to ban TikTok.
And we want to know
it's a
your
lot
thoughts
of stuff
too.
on there.
And we want to know your thoughts too.
It's a lot of information.
It's a lot of information. We want to know your thoughts too. But this is my thoughts. This is my assessments on this, right?
Okay, let's hear it.
U.S. and China going through it with all these tariffs and all the stuff with Donald Trump is passing, and now China is saying, okay, well, Birkin, Louis, Gucci, Ralph Lauren, all of them, they buy their products from China.
Right.
And they saying that the only thing that is different is their logo. So they come over here and they buy this thing for $1 and they sell it to you for $1,000. They upcharging 1,000% on what the products that you're buying.
Yeah.
And so let me deprogram y'all. What they are doing, they are turning Americans against America, and not just Americans, black people, because black
Pretty
people
much.
are the consumer of these domestic products that we want to sell out and we crash out for.
No. But you said it perfectly. Sell out, because if you really think about it, and if you do the research for most of these companies, don't even really support black people.
Absolutely.
If we're really talking about it, if we're going to get real with it, if we're going to be real on a be more for real, like they don't support black people. They don't want us wearing their stuff. They'll take our money, sure. Gucci doesn't even listen. They're racist.
They are racist. Say it again.
They're racist, and Balenciaga are predatory. Like I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really for the name brands, and it's nothing against how much it costs. And no, it's just like I don't really care for that. Like there's certain ones that I do. Like the designs are nice, but if you really look at the history and the morality behind the people who created, like it's not that serious to me. I don't want to support pedophiles. Like
right. But what they saying is, right?
I'm sorry.
No, you good. Don't apologize. What they are saying is essentially this is what China is doing. They saying, okay, America, you want to play these games? You want to put these tariffs on us? Guess what? Louis, Gucci, and Prada, they buy from here. They buy from here. This factory right here in China. And the only difference between what's Chinese made and costs less and what costs you an exorbitant amount of bucks
It's the print, right?
is the logo, the print. Yes.
So why don't y'all go ahead and make your own logo bags?
It's the print. It's the name.
So why don't they go ahead and make their own logo bags? Because if we're all getting it from China, put them out of business. Hello?
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
Oh, let me be quiet.
It's a real big feud.
Too strong on that.
No, it's a real big feud, and I would say this too because we are Americans.
Yeah.
We cannot give China enough that much information to destroy us.
No, of course. I'm not saying it like that.
That just only makes sense.
But we also cannot destroy ourselves over a price of product.
Well,
or when it comes to products and
TikTok
and image
is
and things like that.
The product. TikTok is the product, and so now China said, now since we own TikTok, I want to deprogram the people to what they've been programmed to. So now that China says we are in control of TikTok, this is what we're going to do. We're going to propagandize. Remember, I said, I know that's not a word, but we're going to propagandize.
Creating words, a new vocabulary before
Right,
you
new vocabulary. We're going to propagandize the American people against the people. The same thing they did with the Germans in World War II with Hitler.
Okay.
But it's just propaganda.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm going to tell America something too. And everybody that's going to follow into this. When China's talking all that stuff, a lot of American consumers are going to cut Gucci and Louis out. This was their whole plan to begin with. Are you listening or are you listening? I want you to listen real closely. I want you to zoom I want you to listen to me real closely.
Zoom your screen.
They are going to make the American people and divide them against the American people. See, Chinese people are not dumb. They're going to do the same thing that white people did to black people for hundreds of centuries. Let me say that again. They're going to do the same thing that white people did to black people for hundreds of centuries. They are going to divide a country against itself with this marketing scheme. They're already doing it.
It's already happening.
The people are going in droves on TikTok to undercut Gucci, Louis, and all that stuff, which I have no problem with.
So here's my issue with that, right?
I have no problem with that.
Because realistically, like, okay.
Let me know if you got a problem with it.
We're talking about designers. We're talking about, and I model. Don't. I'm not knocking it. But my thing is, we have more precedent and more important things to be worried about than designers and clothes and bags and stuff like that. So it's like when we're over here worried about products, do we have enough food? Do we have enough energy supply? Do we have enough water? Did Flint get water? Like, it's certain things. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not sorry. But it's certain things that I'm curious about because it's like people prioritize other stuff over things that are more important when it comes to health, when it comes to mental health, physical health, spiritual health.
That is a great point.
When it comes to, like, and at the end of the day, what riches a man gains only for him to lose his soul?
What is a profit a man to gain the world but lose his soul?
Right. So the whole point of that, even still with me referencing that, is like, okay, so what happens at the end of this?
Mm-hmm.
We're still worrying about $1,000, $2,000, $500, whatever dollar bags. That's
but you
not
know
going to
what?
give you no food.
That's what I was saying.
I'm about to say, shit. If ish hits the fan and we need to worry about supply and demand, y'all are not going to be worried about these daggone bags. Y'all are not going to be worried about half of this stuff.
Well, China
remember what happened with COVID, that most people went for the stuff that wasn't necessarily important right away?
Absolutely.
But
China let the cat out the bag. And I'm telling you, it is going to drive America nuts. It's going to drive America crazy.
Maybe
you heard it here first. It's going to drive America crazy.
Because America needs to wake up.
Because a lot of products are made in China, especially the high class bags. And one guy, okay, hold on, let's do this.
America needs to wake up.
Let's just go ahead. I think we already brought up. Did we bring up the Asian guy?
Yeah, we did.
Let's go ahead and bring him.
Witnessing the death of capitalism, and when America chose to go low, China decided to go lower. And when I say low, China became petty and dropped all the websites that you can get your Birkins, Dior, Versace, Adidas, Nike, all those websites for the actual price and what they are worth. Remember, I made a video about Birkins and y'all were like, I worked for Birkins. The bags that they're selling are completely different when they came out of the same factory. They're just reselling it for a cheaper price. And y'all wonder why rich people go for quiet luxury? It's because they know their worth. Anywho, without further ado, take notes.
This Birkin bag at Hermes Boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? The total cost will be 1,400 USD for one Birkin out of factory. But why Hermes will charge you 38,000 USD for one bag? That's because more than 90% of the price is paid for its logo. But if you do not care about the logo, you just want the same quality, same material, you can just buy from us. Because for our bags, we use exactly the same material, same leather, same hardware, same edge oil. The only difference is one, we don't have
And
the
if you
logo.
go on these websites and you're getting like the 404 era, guess what? Use a VPN.
Who are the suppliers behind Solomon, Timberland, New Balance, Adidas, Nike, la 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 la? First, Baltimore Factory, one of the world's largest OEM sports shoe manufacturers. Who are the suppliers behind Dior? Their knitwears and cardigans are from Beyond Garments from Hangzhou. Beyond Garments is also the supplier behind many luxury brands from America and Europe, like Sandra, Maj, Versace. Who are the suppliers behind Lululemon? Some of their yoga wears are actually from Xianglong Clothing and Huang Qisheng Clothing. And guess what? These two factories also supply clothing for Fila and Under Armour.
For electronics components, visit OFFCN.com. For car accessories, check cheapayren.com. For industry material, gobangbang.com. For clothing, check wigvic.com. For more sourcing tips, follow you.
We are witnessing the death of capitalism, and when America.
We are witnessing the death of capitalism in America. That's what she told you. Because now this is what China is doing against America. And it gets deeper than what you think.
Yep.
Because you might think that, okay, because you're American, you can go directly to China and you can spend your money with China, that everything is going to be all good. But when America go to war with China, if or when,
back home. Good luck getting back
if
home.
or when America go back to war with China.
We're not even going to speak that into existence. Here's the thing.
Hey, it's inevitable at this point. There's been multiple
But
world
we're not
wars.
going to feed that type of energy, though, either.
No, I'm not going to feed it. I'm not going to feed it, but what I will say is that it is inevitable. That was my point in saying that. And that is what TikTok just did. And this program is made to deprogram you to what you've been programmed to. Yeah, this is what China and TikTok just did. See, now look, I want y'all to realize this. China, they can do that to America because they control TikTok. But there's no social media platform, not MySpace, YouTube, Instagram, whatever the social media platforms, they will never have that happen in China. Oh, you best to believe that. All the stuff they showing us about China and showing their manufacturers, China ain't never going to do that to their country. And you best to believe that. So, and it's crazy because, like, where is the fine line between the two? Like, we don't get with America. We don't want to pay $38,000, $40,000 for a piece of material that you paying $1,400 for.
Well, here's why I'm not mad at China when it comes to spilling that, though. Because why are we being fooled when it comes to our own people? Why should that be okay?
Well,
why
that's what he said.
No, I'm about to say I agree.
Yeah.
So I'm not in argument with that. And if
Right.
anything, that hopefully that'll bring people to realize that it's so much deeper than what they really think. That some of these products and some of these items that we're getting, there's some things that we would not be able to have at all without certain cross references or resources outside of this country, like oil, gas. You know what I'm saying? I don't want gas to be $10. Can we worry about that?
Yeah,
$10 a gallon.
and
I know that's just scratching the surface.
There are other things. There is a scratch on the surface,
That
especially
is.
even with that, because the United States produce more oil and export more oil than we import. So how could the gas prices be so high when we have such an
Because look who's trying
surplus of gas?
But the United States is not for their own people.
It's the same thing. They had what they have done, and like I said, this program is made to
United
deprogram
States is
you.
not for their own people because look at who they're putting. Where they're putting themselves. United States is putting themselves in debt to try to make the people pay their debt that they can technically pay off themselves.
Right.
With the physical money that they create in these same branches that we have to go and pay to get our own money out, our hard-earned. Are you serious? Are we not waking up to the truth and reality of what's really going on? Can we do that, people? Please?
Somebody
I'm just saying. Thank you, Stan. I appreciate it. No, but for real, it's one of those things.
Right, Lobby.
And you're right, and I appreciate it. It's just one of those things where it's like we really have to wake up. China might be exposing certain things, but I don't disagree with what they're exposing. America needs to be held accountable to what they're doing to their own people.
And that is the crazy conversation. And we're gonna wrap this up because it's gonna get deeper and deeper, right?
My bad. You can't take me down the rabbit hole and expect me not to take you all the way.
No. We're gonna
Alice
go
in
through
Wonderland.
this rabbit hole. But I don't know how much time you got because I know how much time that we have.
Yeah, let's get it. I'm sorry.
But as much time as you got, we have, and we want to have this conversation. We want to express this to the people.
Yes.
But just imagine this, right? We live in America, and we are giving China all this type of technology through being on their software through TikTok.
Yeah.
Now I know it may seem crazy, but the fact that, like I said, China now, this is what they did. They said, look, we got your manufacturers. We're gonna put your manufacturers. We're gonna put Louis, Gucci, Prada, Givenchy. We're gonna put all y'all on blast. We're gonna show all of y'all retailers and manufacturers, and we're gonna cutthroat y'all.
Good.
And guess what? No, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on.
I was trying to
Think
support the
about
black
it.
luxury businesses.
No, it's not black owned. It comes from China. That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, I was.
And
I
this
was
is
putting
what
them
this
on.
is what the beef was about TikTok.
Right.
And so now China is able to control the U.S. and our thought patterns. They're able to dictate us in a manner that the U.S. is not. And so, I know that the United States has done a lot of stuff to black people and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, I've only lived in the United States.
That's true.
So I at the end of the day, I'm only going to fight with the United States. I'm going to fight with where I'm at, because this is where my home is. I'm not going to have you disturb my home.
No, of course not. But at the same
China
time,
just did that because more Americans are focused on TikTok and what comes out and how much they can provide from TikTok, that they don't even want to dispel TikTok from American stuff. And I know it might seem crazy that Donald Trump don't want TikTok and all that stuff, but look at the national security thing. They are able to propagandize us. I use that word again. They're able to propagandize
put
us
on a t-shirt.
and propaganda us to hate the American government and to cut the American government throat. And what they saying is true, which hurts me the most. What they saying about the American government is true. And these niggas, they go over to China and they have China and they make them make Jordans and all that stuff for $10 that they're gonna go over here and sell for $300, $400, $500.
But see, and here's okay. Hey, he brought it up. I don't like Jordan anyway, because here's my thing: you've had too many people losing their lives over these damn $10 shoes, and this man has not once come out and had anything or said anything or done anything about it.
Right.
So can we really just take a moment? Like, no, we're not. I am not condoning I'm not condoning or saying I'm for China versus America. But I am saying that America needs to hold ourselves. We got to hold ourselves accountable. We've been blindsided by too much bullshit. And we're over here worried about things that have no relevance when it comes to soul, when it comes to morality, when it comes to, like, you got people dying over freaking, what is it, Popeye's chicken? Sandwiches?
Yep.
A $5 sandwich? And some shoes? No. So I can't do nothing but say, like, okay, we got to consider the fact that, yeah, we got to hold ourselves accountable. We've let shit go to where it is. And yes, certain things were programming and doctored and force fed. But at the same time, when are we going to wake the fuck up? Because we can't wait for someone to come wake us up. We got to do it. Bobby Hemmett, Rashad Jamal, like, y'all need to do your research.
I think that's what China is trying to do.
Exactly. So I can't get mad at that.
This is the thing, and I
don't condone no violence or no war, but I can't get mad. I want our people to wake up. Stop wasting your money on this cheap stuff.
I extremely hate to be this type of person, right? But I will say this: a house divided against itself will not stand.
It will not.
It's in the Bible. It's biblical. If you don't believe me, look it up. If I'm lying, then I'm flying. But what I'll say is the house divided against itself will not stand. So now look at America. Brace yourself for America, because at the same time, America is going through this war with China, with TikTok. And this is a big war. This is not a small war. Make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because guess what? They're coming after the elites, the ones that have been selling Gucci, Louis, Givenchy, Giuseppe. All of these people are now under attack by China, right? And these are the same people that we sell out. We say these are designer wear. So now if Americans go to China and cut America throat and they know they got us, and which, by the way, are black people, let's be more for real, because black people support more of that stuff than they do. The white people, they wear Skechers.
But you
the
also
Asian people, they wear Skechers. Let me finish real quick.
You're right.
They wear Skechers and all that stuff, and they don't care about what they wear, where the fabric come from. They've been new. That's my point for saying that. Because the white billionaires, they'll wear Skechers and all that stuff. It's us that say, oh, you don't got a real polo. That's a Beverly Hills polo. That's what matters. It's us that do that. And so what they are doing now is the same thing that the white government has did to black people for centuries. They say that, look, guess what, America? China been producing all your products since way back when. And they say, guess what, Negroes? White people have been the facilitators of your life since way back when. What you gonna do about it? How you gonna carry it? And that's how the enemy works. I see through it all. Let's be more for real. This is a house divided against itself won't stand. If black and white people can't get together over this China stuff and TikTok stuff, guess what? America will fall, and China gonna fold the U.S. China gonna fold
Sam
the
is
U.S. like a
absolutely
deck
correct.
of cards.
Wait, the government doesn't care about anyone but themselves. And Sam, you are absolutely correct about that. The next statement is the point I was going to bring it right back to. It's not a white or black thing when it comes to the fashion. It's about the wealthy against the poor. You got to understand, they want the wealthy to go to the poor aspect. It's really, they don't want there to be a medium. There is no really happy medium for them. It's either the elites and then the lower capacity, because at this point it's like they don't want us to get to their level.
Right.
You ever notice when someone gets too much power, they get too much money to the point where they're able to make some type of real change, something happens.
Right.
Or they get silenced. So it's definitely not about exactly rich white people rock name brand stuff, poor white people don't, but poor rich people do too. It's not even about the color, like you said. It's about the person's mindset, because regardless, you got a lot of people who rock certain name brands, some people who don't. And at the same time, I'm not against these name brands getting shut down, because you got to think of the child labor, you got to think of the trafficking, you got to think of all the other stuff that's going on behind the scenes. Y'all, all this is going on behind the scenes, and y'all want these freaking t-shirts. Point.
The child trafficking and the human trafficking behind,
but y'all want to brush past that over freaking t-shirts.
Yeah,
like shut that shit down.
Oh, we about to
shut
go ahead
that
and
shit
cut that
down.
out.
I don't care. Like, because at the same time, these kids and these women and children that are going missing now, part of that is still all incorporated. Y'all don't realize how deep this shit goes. It's a rabbit hole for a reason.
It is a rabbit hole for a reason, and the rabbit hole is to get us control, and that's why the social media. And see, this is why. Okay, I know all black people, we disagree with Donald Trump, but one thing that the Trump administration is right about is probably getting rid of TikTok. It's probably best because China had. Okay,
I don't agree with that.
Okay, no,
I don't agree with that, because you had a lot of information coming in. No, we can agree to disagree, and that's okay.
Yeah,
I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just
let me finish what I'm saying real quick. Because,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, China is now showing, and it might be a good thing too, just like how the Germans did. I'm not disagreeing with you fully, right?
Okay.
It might be a good thing, just like how the Germans did to free the slaves that were held under the Southern leadership.
Okay.
Back under the colonization.
Yep.
And it was the Germans, and now we saw all of a sudden disagreeing with the Germans, and all of it go back to one where if you look at the war with the Germans and the United States and World War II, It was all propaganda, because they had TVs and radio. They were able to manipulate the masses of the people in their countries to tell them this is what we should do.
Yep.
But in these days and time, now you have people looking at what we should do, that the government and that these social media things recommend us, as opposed to what we think. And that's what's happening with China and TikTok. China is saying we got control of the algorithm in TikTok. So now this is what China is doing right now. They are flooding. If you want to know how Gucci and all of them get their suppliers, it is right on TikTok right now. Even the websites. And I just brought it up to you. And they just told you that in order to make a Birkin bag in China, because that's who make it, even if they slap France on it, even if they slap Italy on it,
it's still made in China.
It's still made in China, and it only cost them $1,400. The same bag that they charging you $3,800.
Can I tell you why I'm not mad at that? Can I tell you why I'm not mad at the fact that they started with fashion? Can I tell you why I'm not mad at the fact that that's the first thing that caught our eye? Because that's the main thing that we influence, fashion. When it comes to music, that's the main thing that they interpret and they copy. Fashion, black people, greatness, melanin. Come on now. So I'm not mad at the fact that China was the one to highlight the fashion, because, of course, look at where our focus is. Let's see what they bring out next. Let's see what they talk about next. They're already talking about the food and stuff like that. That's been going on in the conversations within the United States that people really don't want to talk about as far as these fast food restaurants, people finding teeth in their burgers, finding rats in their food and stuff like that. But y'all don't want to have those conversations. If y'all want to listen to that, let's see what else they're going to bring out. Let's see what they talk about next, because it seems like TikTok is the only thing that will get y'all attention enough to keep the conversation going in order for something to stop or some type of change to be had. Let's be real about it.
Let's be more for real.
Let's be for real about it.
Be more for real.
Because that's how y'all went up in a riot when it came to TikTok being shut down. Y'all want that for a reason, right? Why? Information, freedom of speech. You can't say certain things on certain social media platforms without being kicked off, without being demonetized, without being censored. And TikTok is one of the only platforms that is nationwide that everyone has access to without any type of restrictions or any type of censorship.
Right.
Let's talk about it. They brought out fashion because they know we'll pay attention to that.
Right. Let's get into this last video too. Let's get into this last video. By the way, my brother Darrell, Ayo Boutique, man.
Yes, Darrell. Okay.
Let's go ahead and get into his video, and he really put it into plain words. Let's go ahead and get into it.
You're not ready for these conversations.
All right, y'all. So this video is to all of my clothing brand designers. If y'all been paying attention, over in China is exposing all the big brands, all of the Louis, Gucci, red bottoms, for putting 10 times the price on top of what they got it for. This is not just exposing these big brands; it's exposing y'all too, because a lot of people are selling sweatsuits for almost $200, $150 when we know how much they cost to get made, right? A lot of people are selling t-shirts for $80. Now, you have your core audience, that's cool. But the main thing is this. They have been taking advantage of a lot of people for years. And y'all that's buying these red bottoms for $2,000, y'all that's buying these, regular t-shirts from Gucci for like, $1,900, you actually look crazy. And we've been saying this for years. That's why we created Ayo Boutique, because we're able to create these dope pieces at an affordable rate where we know we're still making a profit, but we're not killing people. And you go get a Gucci shirt, you can buy a house. You know what I mean? So you got to start looking at yourself now. All y'all brands, everybody that's making clothes, ain't nobody buying no t-shirt for $80, $90. It's a t-shirt. Same quality at Walmart, same quality at Foreman Mills. You see what I'm saying? You gotta hold yourself accountable now, because now that China is exposing these big brands, it's also exposing y'all. And I ain't gonna say smaller brands, but these smaller brands that are not on that level of branding. And if you know, they're just selling their name. The name is being sold. They're selling the name Gucci. They're selling the name Louis Vuitton. They're selling these names, just the names, because they built the brand. But even when you build a brand, you know what I mean? When you are taking a shirt that costs $12, $15, and you're marking it up to about $700 to $800, you're not just taking advantage of, the people that, enjoy your products, but you're making it so it's people that are in a lower class feel low about themselves because they can't afford those things. But we've been telling people for years, it's all being made in the same warehouse. You know what I mean? Always have been made in the same warehouse. A lot of people was making fun of me when I was buying the replicas, and y'all thought they were replicas. Like, I was just buying them because they came from the same warehouse. I have a partner in China that told me, bro, they're made in the same warehouse, literally. I was buying the Jordans and all that stuff because I like wearing them. It never was nothing where I was like, I want to spend. I never wanted to spend $1,000 on those shoes. I was that person, but I never wanted to spend $1,000 on those shoes. It never made sense to me. That's why I stopped. I have a real sneakerhead tattoo right here. I used to be a real sneakerhead until I understood that they was taking advantage of people, us. But now we, as clothing brand owners and designers, we have a opportunity and a responsibility to actually, take action to that, because people are gonna be watching y'all now. No sweatsuit should cost $200. Nobody's sweatsuit should be $200. If you still sell like, that's on you. But when you come to Ayo Boutique, you're not gonna get that. Check them out.
Hey yo, we're gonna go ahead and clap that up, man.
Wow, yes.
For real.
He's actually backing up what I said too, because does it not make sense?
It does make sense.
So then that gives us more money within our own communities.
Right.
This is the perfect time for people to be franchising and doing their own thing.
Right. Absolutely. And make sure y'all go ahead and follow Ayo Boutique, man. My brother Darrell, he off the chain, man. The Ayo Boutique, they are multinational. He's the only one that's ever going to do it with his clothing line.
Yes.
Ayo Boutique, they in Old Town Mall. Make sure y'all go ahead and follow them.
Expanding.
Right. And expanding. They got more than one location.
Yes.
Trust and believe. And they got more than one gig. I mean, they got playhouses. They got studios. So
I
you
think
can
he
do
said over 150 artists and
Man.
designers.
Over 300, I think now. So over twice as much. So make sure y'all go follow Ayo Boutique. But he's one that know because he's a fashion designer. He does this. He does what he's saying. And I'm here to tell y'all what China is doing to America.
Yeah.
Because now that they expose the manufacturers, and like he told you, he said, yo, I go to Walmart, I get the replicas, I do all that because I know that they come from the same manufacturers.
Yeah.
What we are paying for is a logo. Exactly. The logo that we are paying for is Giuseppe, Givenchy, Ralph Lauren, and all these people. They are white people names.
Y'all basically paying for the trademark.
And we don't do that for our own people. And let me backtrack a little bit because some black people get on my nerves with this. They be like, black business, and black business do have a stigma. We have a bad stigma.
Let me get a discount. If you don't pay that full price,
let me get it for the low. I'm gonna be late and all this other stuff, right? We got bad stigma, right?
Yeah.
But McDonald's, Burger King, Target, Walmart, they all have these scandals and all this other stuff, and we quick to forget that with them. But when it comes to us, it's like, I can't do business.
Oh,
it's like the first time a nigga mess up.
Hands down.
It's the first time a nigga mess up, or excuse my language, but it's the first time a black person mess up. It's like, I can't do this. I can't do that. I heard Wallo talk about this, and Wallo, my man, too. He was like, no, black business need to be consistent. I support who's consistent.
Yeah.
But no, these other countries, these other nations, these other white people, these other politicians and all this stuff, they are not consistent. Matter of fact, they got a lot of scandals. They got a lot of crazy scandals involving children and women.
That part.
But we still choose to deal with them instead of our own people.
See, but you have to consider the fact that, so here's where it gets tricky, right? Because I will agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. But you have some of our own people who are involved in that as well.
Right.
But you have also some other people who, and that those are the main ones I'm talking about. You got the wolf in sheep's clothing who will be quick to be like, oh yeah, well let me go ahead and bring for the community, but they're a sellout. What happened to that school in Africa? With all them girls, Oprah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's like they'll do certain things for the guise of the attention and the cause and I'm being a humanitarian, but realistically they have ulterior motives or there's other things going on behind the scenes.
I'm glad you asked that.
People don't want to really face that.
I'm glad you asked that. Them niggas, they the white folks nigga, and that's why I look. Oprah, you do your thing.
Wasn't she best friends with Harvey Weinstein?
You do your thing, yeah. And they went on the island and all that stuff. And there's been
Epstein too, but people want to keep disregarding that. So did Jay and Beyonce. So did Barack and Michelle.
But they gonna sweep that under
Michael.
the rug. And I'm not here to bash Oprah, but what I will say is fuck you. And I'm gonna say the same thing to Tyler Perry. Fuck you. I'm gonna say the same thing to Tyler Perry because when y'all perpetuate the stereotypes about black men and black women, y'all are the media mongols.
Yeah.
We have to understand what a media mongol is.
Tyler Perry especially.
We have to understand what the media does to the masses. It's paid programming. They pay to program your ass.
And then wonder why people keep on recycling and having the same cycle or story or the same lifestyles as far as what they're seeing on the screen. Because at the same time, no, we're not saying that people need to live their life by what they see. But at the same time, after you see certain things to a certain extent, don't you start to adapt to what you see? Don't you start to come on now?
Right.
And my thing with Tyler Perry is the fact that it's like you started off the plays, you started off the shows, and I love the Tyler Perry shows and plays. Don't get me wrong, but my thing is, I feel like you've come so far. The stories need to elevate as well because you cannot keep berating the same people who are supporting you.
Well, see, the thing with that is, and see, this is what we have to learn about entertainment and media.
Okay,
he's doing what sells. You cannot, as a person that want to do media, afford to miss that wave. And Tyler Perry got a mean wave. He have a 20-year wave now. It's been a 20-year wave for him. Why would he stop being Medea and stop being a goddamn what do you call it when
He
women
didn't need
hit
to be
men?
Medea in the first
Why
place.
would you
If we're
stop
being honest, we do love some Medea, but hey, Tyler, listen. And then here's my thing. He can't do the duality of
Why,
it.
but I'm saying, why would you stop being a Miss Andress when that's what paid you? Now Tyler Perry is a billionaire in net worth. And
That's
this is the same thing for Oprah.
No, you're
and
right.
it's the same thing that they didn't did. And this is why Django was made. You remember Samuel
I remember
Jackson,
that. Now,
right?
so, but here's my thing with that though.
That's why Django was made, because it's made like P. Diddy. We see P. Diddy, and I wanna. Oh, I'm glad we went here because I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there for sure. This is why P. Diddy is messed up in the place that he in, because he followed after them, and now P. Diddy taking a fall for what he was taught by Clive Davis.
But his mother as well, because she was a madam and was doing parties like that at her home too. Like if you really
P. Diddy wasn't that until he learned from Clive Davis.
No, you can't say that.
I can.
No, you can't. But there was even proof coming out that his mother was part of that as well. So
It
started from home.
I can. As a matter of fact, I can even say the whole United States Constitution, the whole confliction, and the whole conundrum of what we're going through in the United States is because of white people. And until white people start to acknowledge,
I don't disagree with that.
Where they fall into
No.
with that,
I don't disagree with that.
You know what I'm
I just feel like you're giving too much credit to Clive Davis. Yes, he definitely has a big part to play in it.
Absolutely.
He definitely has a big part to play in it because we got a lot of falling stars because of that man.
Right.
So I'm not saying anything against that. Yes, P. Diddy definitely has had that. Hey, that was part of where he looked up as far as mentorship, right?
Right.
But if we're looking at Diddy, we're looking at Usher, we're looking at Bieber, we're looking at Diddy, we're looking at his mother, we're looking at the people who was under Diddy as well.
Yeah, and I would do that in private.
It was a long line. No, you
for me, I would do that in private in private. And the reason why I would say that is because the other nations of people, when they had their problems and they deal with stuff like that, we would never know. Harvey Weinstein was one of the very few. But you know, I'm gonna say this. All right. This program made the deprogramming which you've been programmed to, right? Let me make this very clear. And I hope there is white people watching this. I hope to God it is. I hope to the Most High it is. Because check this out. And if I'm lying, I'm flying. Go to Google and just ask Google, was the Black Panther Party considered domestic terrorists? And I repeat myself.
Yeah, they were.
To Google and ask Google, was the Black Panther Party considered domestic terrorists?
That was not the purpose, but they were considered.
Yes, they were. Now go
considered.
to Google, ask Google the same question,
but here's
and ask Google. Hold on, ask Google was the KKK a domestic terrorist organization?
But you cannot compare the two because the Black Panther Party was started and created to be for the black community.
Right.
They were there to protect and serve. They were there because.
And what's the KKK for?
No, hold on, because we're gonna take it back. If we're gonna compare the two, you cannot compare. It's not the same. We cannot give that to them. Okay.
Oh yeah, it is the same.
It's not the same. You're right. We have no one to blame but ourselves when it comes to certain aspects, and I'm not disagreeing with that. BMore Pod, not at all. I'm not sugarcoating anything either. My thing is. Oh shoot, where was I?
They actually agreeing with you.
Right. Here's my thing. We have no one to blame but ourselves, but at the same time, we got to hold ourselves accountable, right? Oh, that's what it was. The biggest issue and stigma when it comes to the black community, the brown community, the people of color, is we keep too much swept under the rug. Don't talk about it. Keep that shit at home. That's the issue, because then things don't ever get addressed. You keep that shit at home, then things keep happening and spilling out outside, and it still reverts back to home. We got to get to the root of the issue. People don't want to face the issue at home.
I agree.
And sometimes that's where it starts.
We're going to clap that up.
So I'm not going to Davis when it was factored and also came up as far as factual and they had evidence as far as P. Diddy's mother was a madam. So she had certain parties like that at the house anyway. And certain things she allowed him to participate in. So growing up with that type of mindset as a child will fuck you up. What you mean?
Yeah.
I'm not condoning nothing.
I understand that because
that man needs help. But nothing that he did was okay. And then even involving minors where he definitely crossed the line.
There are instances.
So people need to be held accountable.
There are instances in history where the older men actually dated younger women and all that stuff, and it wasn't until recently history. It wasn't even Mahatma Gandhi, right?
Yeah.
Even Gandhi, right?
Russell
94
Wilson.
years old with a 14-year-old girlfriend. Like it's there are certain customs and all that
Russell
stuff.
Wilson.
And, we're not going to breeze past that.
Not at all, because
We're
I
not
mean
gonna
it's
breeze
still
past
going
that.
on till this day, and people
And it is.
normalize it,
And it is.
and that's not okay.
But most of us don't normalize. But what I will say is this: this is what was normalized.
And to each their own when it comes to different cultures and things like that, ethnicities. I'm not speaking on anyone else. I'm just saying when it comes to certain things that are happening here, we cannot sweep it under the rug and act like it's not a problem when we keep on seeing the aftermath and the repercussions of these issues and traumas that are not really fully being addressed. What do you mean?
Right. And I agree. And I totally agree. But what I'm saying is that this is what social media was made for. And this is what China is doing too.
Yeah.
And I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. A house divided against itself will not stand. You gotta understand how the enemy works. When the enemy cannot get to you as a person, it's gonna get to the next closest person to you.
Yeah.
It's not going to just. It's going to leave you alone. It's going to get to the next person closest to you.
That's true.
And it's going to know that they can divide a house against itself and it will not stand. And so that is what China is doing. Trust and believe. I'm not saying that what China is doing is wrong.
But we can't let them win, and that's where we have to have our own minds and think for ourselves too. You know,
right?
Because
I'm not saying what China is doing is wrong because they're showing us the manufacturers and all that stuff. But I'm telling you that China is strategically using an age-old tactic. This is why America needs to get it together. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's black and white people and it's European. It's a whole bunch of, it's a melting pot of people that live here in this country. And if we don't get it together and we let a country like China divide us over TikTok, guess what's going to happen to you, country? You ain't gonna be a country no more. A country no more, you will not stand. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you that for a specific reason. There is a reason why China can tell us what they're telling us, and the United States can't do what China is doing. So regardless of the Carmelo Anthony situation and Austin Metcalf, see, these are the things. This is why America is so freaking stupid.
But that's what they keep pushing to continue the division. Together, united we stand, divided we fall.
Between white and black. Now, guess what? When there was World War II and the World War II was happening, it wasn't until black people enlisted into the army, whereas the United States started to win the war.
I was about to say, I wouldn't even have won that without us.
That's a fact.
But okay.
But when those same people came home, they were still being discriminated and all that stuff against. My father went to desegregated schools. My mother went to desegregated schools. Matter of fact, I want to say this too, because my father, shout out to my father, he died 12 years ago on this very same day, April the 16th. But great man, you know what I'm saying? Baltimore City police officer and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And shout out to my father. He was a great man, a great father. But I feel like I lost him too early because I wasn't able to get enough from him.
I understand that.
And I feel like he died too early. But what's real is that the enemy still operates the same. If I, as the enemy, know I can pin the mother against the father, I know this child gonna be fucked up. Excuse my language, but if I know that I can come between the mother and the father, if I know I can come between the grandmother and the uncle and all, I know that this family gonna be fucked up.
Yeah.
And I mean that, and I say that on purpose.
Can we circle back to the Black Panther? That's exactly why the party was created, to try to bring the community back together. So the division was not continued, so it was not forced, so it was not embedded. But unfortunately, because they were considered and called a domestic terrorist threat, you know, that was part of the reason why it was dispelled and it was disbanded. Like they're still going,
right? But
it's not to the tenacity as it was before.
No, I disagree with that.
I'm not going to. I understand. I take that back. I'm sorry, but as far as notoriety, it's not acknowledged the way that it should be. Did you know the Black Panther Party was the ones? Let me rearrange my words. Did you know that the Black Panther Party was one of the first people who helped with starting WIC? Mm-hmm. For women and children, infant and children, mm-hmm. Because if it wasn't women, for them, and children, exactly, right. Women, infant, and children, and a lot of you have a lot of people within the races that use that program. So it's not just for us, but we were a big part and a crucial part in funding and helping other people in the environment. But people don't want to acknowledge that. They want to just make it seem like the Black Panther Party was just terrorists. They were all Black Power, because whole time we were about.
Because you about to get me going.
We were about the power. We were about the improvement of ourselves, the embetterment of our people, and when it comes to progression and really being able to see who we are able to expand and grow to be.
You about to get me going, and
let's get it. What you mean?
All right. If y'all viewing, all right. Look, I want y'all to do me a favor. If you viewing right now live, right? Because I know it's quite a few viewers, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 viewers.
I love to debate. Let's get it.
this is what I want y'all to do right now. If y'all want me to prove what I'm saying right now, or prove us what I'm saying, because I'm gonna pull it up, right? What I was saying, I'm agreeing with you, right? Because the Black Panther Party, right? They were made to take care of the community and all that stuff. This is what we need to understand about gangsters and what they were. The Bloods and Crips and what they were designed for. The Black Panther Party and all that stuff. You brought the Black Panther Party.
Yes.
And that was fascinating because I just did it on my personal page without even having this conversation with you ever.
See, I'm
I did. Because the Black Panther Party, they would take care, they would feed the home. That's how it started.
Yes,
that's how the
it
gang started.
That was the whole purpose of
the
it.
gangsters, they took care of the community, right?
They weren't even
Now-
considered gangsters back then. It was just a matter of power and
Right.
strength that
They wasn't.
that
They were
scared
leaders.
and
They
made
were
them
the
come off
elders.
intimidated and threatening.
They were the leaders. They
But
were the
never
elders.
threatened nobody. So
But now, check this out. And I know it's gonna be hard for white people that's keeping up with this conversation, but I know it's white people that agree. And I will bring it up if you want me to. Tell me, prove it. I'm gonna bring it up, right? If you want me to, tell me, bring it up. I'm gonna prove it. But look, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you that when the Black Panther Party was established by Ronald Reagan, right? Ronald Reagan claimed them to be a domestic terrorist. I'm telling you, that was in the 80s, right?
Yep.
Now in 2025 and
Ray
before
Hampton,
then,
yep.
the KKK always existed. They were never
That's never dissolved.
deemed a domestic terrorist.
That's never dissolved.
And let me tell you why. Now, and if you want me to prove it, tell me to prove it. I will look. I will
Prove
just
it.
type it.
Preach it.
I type it up
I'm
on
telling you to
Google.
prove it.
I'll type it up
Because
on
if we
Google.
really gonna go over it, if we're gonna go back to as far as
type it
history,
up on
so
Google.
if we're gonna go back as far as history, the hush puppies, right, were to keep the slave patrol away from the slaves that were trying to run away when it came to the Underground Railroad.
Okay.
Now slave patrol was turned into a modernized
Oh, look, hold on, I ain't gonna
into
do
a
it right
modernized police system. That's all it is.
I ain't gonna do it right now because you know what? I ain't
You
gonna
ain't got
spoon
to.
feed
It's
y'all.
okay. Tell them Google it.
I ain't gonna spoon feed y'all
It's
right
okay.
now. And
But
don't
it's
take my
facts.
word for it because I was just about to, and I promise you I was just about to. But what I will encourage you
It's
is
facts.
ask Google, ask Chat GPT if the KKK were deemed domestic terrorists.
Since y'all like
as
AI
much
so
domestic
much.
terrorism as they did. And then after you ask them that, ask them was the Black Panther Party, ask them was the Peace Stones, ask them was the Bloods and the Crips, ask them were they domestic terrorists. And you gonna get your answer and you gonna see for yourself.
Yep.
Even KKK till this day in 2025, they are not considered domestic terrorists. You want to know why? They're the judges, they're the lawyers, they're the goddamn doctors and the policemen. This is why it's important that when our
Politicians.
people get in positions of power, that they look out for our people, because that's the first thing that they're going to do. And that's the first thing that they have done since the 1600s.
Let me
And
piggyback.
Go ahead.
No. I'm sorry.
I'm out of
no.
cook.
You good. I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish cooking.
Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
just piggyback
Go ahead.
real quick because when you go to look for the history when it comes to the Crips, the Bloods, when it comes to the Black Panthers, make sure you go and look the definition of the original mission, and then find out and look into when they got doctored or considered a domestic threat.
Right.
See what that movement was that turned them into a domestic threat. And then find out how much power we really have.
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, and I don't want y'all to take my word for it. I honestly want y'all to, if you listen to this right now, I honestly want you to damn near pause this video right now and ask Google, was the KKK considered domestic terrorists? And then once you get your answer from Google, from Chat GPT, I want you to ask the same software, was the Black Panthers considered as the same light? I want you to ask Chat GPT that, because there was the war declared out on us, and it always has been, to the point where as though LeBron, he's been talking, he was saying that as the black man there's this and there's that stuff that he faces a black man.
Yeah.
And whereas those other black people saying that, you grew up privileged, you've been rich and famous since you've been 13. That's the deprogramming I'm ready to do to y'all, because what the fuck does it matter if he been rich since he been 13 like Lil Bow Wow? What does it matter if he's a black man, he get pulled over at the light? What does it matter that if he was Kyrie Irving and he said that the people that's pretending to be Jews are not Jews? Now, mind you, Kanye said the same thing. Kanye like to be known as Ye, and I hate to disrespect his name. There's no disrespect to you, Kanye. Yay. He wants to be known as Ye, not Kanye West. But I say Kanye West so you know who I'm talking about, and I'm not just saying Ye. But anyway, he said that the major Mongols, the media, the executives, that they were all Jewish. The major part of them, and that they less than 3% of U.S. population. Here go black people, right? We are 14% of U.S. population. We less than 2% of owned businesses in America, but we almost 50% of U.S. jails. We overrepresented in one area, underrepresented in the areas that matter, and now they want you to say, no, slavery ain't that important, but they're going to at the same breath tell you, you better recognize the Holocaust and what happened to the Jewish people. What the hell?
So
even if the Jewish Holocaust lasted 100 years, slavery and oppression from the white people lasted 400 plus years and counting.
And it's still going. No. We're not discrediting nothing, because here's how it's still going, right? And here's how they try to make us feel like it's okay to continue with the slavery. Because what are they teaching us now? What are they showing us now? The same artists that they're backing, think about it, are talking about killing, stealing, and destroying. Talking about, oh, I'm gonna kill da 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 da. Because, oh, excuse me, I'm gonna unalive da 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 because he made me feel some type of way. Or rather than actually addressing, okay, let's have an emotional conversation. Let's actually have let's sit down and like regulate our emotions and like really have a conversation to be able to get past the issues. Why is the first resolution to take a brother out? Over a feeling, over a misunderstanding. They don't care. But then we gotta cry about it, and it's like, oh, free my nigga, da 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 da, or free my so and so. You can't say free someone when they took someone else's life over something that could have been resolved with a conversation. But people don't want to duke it out no more. They want to just take the people out with the guns. But what is that? Where is that message continuing to go? Where is it coming from? Where is it being force fed into the youth from the music, from the propaganda? When it comes to the media.
I agree with that. Oh
I'm
my
not
God! Hold on, let's go ahead and clap
you're
that up.
saying, but it's just
Let's
one
go
of
ahead and
those
clap
things
that
where
up.
it's
I
like
agree.
I said, it goes, same people pushing these messages. India Young Boy. A lot of these artists are the ones who these kids listen to now. So yeah, the parents have to hold themselves accountable, because yes, it's censor what your kids listen to if you don't want your kid to end up growing up in a certain way. But these parents aren't really able to hold themselves accountable either, because of the fact they're still healing from stuff they didn't really acknowledge. It's cycles, it's generational trauma and stuff that people don't really want to talk about or don't want to acknowledge to be able to heal, but then wonder why the kids are so menacing, why they're so violent, why they're so angry, why they're so sexual. Look at the stuff that's being continuously force fed on top of the food.
You saying it? You ain't said nothing but a word.
I ain't even
you ain't
get
said
started.
Nothing but a word.
I ain't even really get started.
You ain't said nothing but a word. And we gonna go ahead and clap that up.
I'm not trying to
You ain't said nothing but a word. But the main thing is too, this. It's just that this whole thing with TikTok and China and the US, it's imperative to look at, because now the US got a feeling of how black people have felt for centuries. Because now the US is about to get divided by China. China gonna come in and say, look, we're gonna take all your main customers, all your Gucci Louis product customers that been coming to you. They're gonna start coming to us in droves, and they're gonna drive the freaking millionaires, multimillionaires, and Mongols. They're gonna drive y'all out of here.
Yeah.
And so this program is made to deprogramming what you've been programmed to. I don't care if you don't like what you don't like and what you don't hear. I want you to get the other side of the story, so you don't have confirmation bias. So you don't listen to something and only want to listen to something that cater to your ego. We are so tired of tipping toe around people's egos. We don't care if you white, black, or Negro. We don't care if you head, shoulders, or
Knees
Negro.
toes.
Yeah, look, I'm just saying. Seriously, like it's not a game. And this is more than just a podcast. It's a lifestyle. We here to deprogram you to what you've been programmed to.
Yes.
I had none other than the lovely Ivy Medusa on the set, and we was blessed by this conversation, man.
Thank you so much,
This
Danny.
was
I appreciate
unprecedented.
this.
I didn't know that we could go this.
We can get it.
In like that.
Let's
like,
go down the rabbit hole.
yeah,
I'm ready to go.
let's
Y'all
go.
ready? Y'all trying to die with us?
Realest conversation on the net. We ride or we die.
Be more for real.
I'm glad you say that. Be more for real.
Be more for real. It's
the
the
same
only
shit
spot
I
and
live
the
for, I
main
die
spot
for.
to
Is
make
you
it
ready for that?
happen.
No, they're gonna say, no, hell no. I'll ride with you, but I ain't dying with you, y'all. No, you ain't riding then either, though. You can't get on this shit though. Because this is deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? This is deeper than who we are. It's deeper than that. We here for the community. We here for the people.
It's
and
a soul mission at the end of the day. You know, it's a soul mission, and everyone has to elevate and rise.
Elevate. Everybody got to elevate, believe, just ride. Oh, shout out EVJ, y'all. We just did that.
Elevate and rise. Okay.
yeah, everybody gotta be more for real. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be in the park like how we is. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be in the mix. This
I
how we
love
do
that. Yeah.
for real.
And can I just say, like, I'm really appreciative for this opportunity. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate this. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Everyone continue to believe in yourselves. You know, I feel like everyone has a phoenix within them. And we all have to, you know, have our breakdowns to have our breakthrough. So you might be going
Say
through
that
that
again,
break.
one
You
more
might
time.
have to have that breakdown to have that breakthrough. You
Woo!
might be going through that transgression right now. You might be in their trials and tribulations, and you're in that transformation period right now. But don't give up, okay?
Don't give up. You
Because you
just
are a phoenix.
God, you spit that.
Hey.
You did that.
You gotta
did
let them
that.
know. Not gonna stop my shine. Not gonna kill my grind.
Midlife, bro. Logic. Oh, we gonna go ahead and clap you up, bro. We appreciate you for being in here. We appreciate you for being here. Also, Midlife, bro. Logic. We appreciate all the comments, and we gonna return the favor and things like that. We love your input, even if you disagree. We know it's another side of the coin, so we would love to have your other side of the coin because you're just another brother from another mother. Y'all know how it is, man. Midlife Bro Logic. Make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to his page. He got a lot of good content, a lot of great content, man. Appreciate you for joining the stream as well. Yes. Look, it's Be More for Real. Realest conversation on the net. Rated R for reality. Brought to you by Way of Real Explosion. #1 podcast in Baltimore. I don't know what else to tell y'all. I don't even do so on the set. Y'all know how we get down, man. It's Be More for Real.
Hey, not gonna stop my shine. Not gonna kill my grind.
Woo!
No amount of shit could ever hide my light. Not gonna stop my shine. Not gonna kill my grind. I come out on top each and every time. Not gonna kill me. No amount of shit could ever hide my light. Y'all better not let nobody kill me.
You should go ahead and follow Ivy. Let's go.
Not gonna stop my shine, not gonna kill my grind.
Oh.
No amount of shade could ever hide my light. Not gonna stop my shine, not gonna kill my grind. I come out on top each and every time. Not gonna stop my shine, not gonna kill my grind. No amount of shade could ever hide my light. Not gonna stop my shine, not gonna kill my grind. I come out on top each and every time. I can't admit it if I fucked up that I'm wrong. Made some mistakes, I've learned my lessons. Pushing on, I blame myself for putting myself down for way too long. Whoa. Not gonna stop my shine, not gonna kill my grind. No amount of shade could ever hide my light. Not gonna stop my shine, not gonna kill my grind. I come out on top each and every time. Not gonna stop my shine, not gonna kill my grind. No amount of shade could ever hide my light. Not gonna stop my shine, not gonna kill my grind. I come out on top each and every time. Tried to poison me with venom. I fucked around and transformed a phoenix of reasons where they don't even know just who they fucking with. But they'll learn it when it hit them. Whoa, but I would never do the things you did to me. I swear that's why I'm winning stronger with every victory. Yeah. Say what you want, do what you want. I'm moving on, I'm gone. Not gonna stop my shine, not gonna kill my grind. No amount of shade could ever hide my light. Not gonna stop my shine, not gonna kill my grind. I come out on top each and every time. Not gonna stop my shine, not gonna kill my grind. No amount of shade could ever hide my light. Not gonna stop my shine, not gonna kill my grind. I come out on top each and every time. There's no way I would fall. Never again, no, I'm giving my all. Pity you, tried to fail. Now it's your turn to fall. Not gonna stop my shine, not gonna kill my grind. No amount of shade could ever hide my light. Not gonna stop my shine, not gonna kill my grind. I come out on top each and every time.
Hey, I be Medusa in the house. Thank y'all. Be More for Real.
Elvis.